Throughout history, with nearly 70% of Earth's surface covered by water, humanity has constantly sought ways to transport military equipment across seas and rivers. Oceans and rivers are not only important transportation routes, but at times they also present major obstacles that need to be overcome. From massive cargo ships to specialized warships, transporting military equipment over water is a significant challenge, especially when it comes to getting vehicles and goods from the ship to the shore. Imagine standing on a coastline, watching giant ships loaded with weapons and combat vehicles preparing to depart from land, crossing vast ocean waves. But have you ever wondered, how does the military manage to get these heavy war equipment safely to shore, facing the waves, pirates, and other unimaginable challenges? In today's video, the Navy Power Channel will open up a mysterious world of military transport at sea, exploring how the harsh challenges of the ocean cannot hinder the military strength of humankind. So, how does the military maintain effective operations when ports are limited or unusable? The answer is the Combined Joint Logistics Over-the-Shore System, or CJLOTS. This is a method used by the U.S. military to provide logistics to combat forces without relying on traditional ports. One of the standout systems in CJLOTS is the Improved Navy Littoral System, or IS, a crucial innovation for getting troops and equipment ashore under difficult conditions. INLS is an extremely flexible and advanced system, made up of many separate modules that can be connected in different ways depending on the needs of each mission. This offers maximum flexibility in transport, allowing the U.S. military to maintain operations without relying on port infrastructure. One of INLS's most notable advantages is its ability to carry loads of up to 330,000 pounds, capable of transporting a variety of goods, such as containers, vehicles, equipment, and supplies, thereby accelerating the logistics process at the coastline. Notably, INLS utilizes advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, big data analytics, and the Internet of Things, IoT, to monitor and optimize supply chains in real time. According to data from the U.S. Navy, systems like INLS have helped reduce storage and transport times by up to 30%, while also increasing the operational sustainability of combat units in harsh environments. In the context of modern warfare, where military operations demand greater flexibility and rapid connectivity, INLS is an indispensable part of the global logistics strategy for superpowers like the US, Russia, and China. In this system, the Military Sealift Command, MSC, plays an important role. This U.S. Navy unit manages military transport vehicles, including roll-on, roll-off, RORO ships, which facilitate the loading and unloading of vehicles without requiring a dock. RORO ships can lower ramps, allowing vehicles to easily move from the ship to the shore, saving time and improving operational efficiency. Vehicles such as Humvees, multi-purpose trucks, and even heavy armored vehicles can be loaded onto the INLS and transported safely, even when the coastline is not directly accessible. So, have you ever wondered how U.S. Armed Forces manage to quickly and efficiently bring heavy weapons, such as the HIMARS rocket artillery system, to the battlefield during amphibious operations? The answer lies in the INLS system and the Landing Craft Utility, LCU. LCU vessels can transport military vehicles directly from the ship to the beach, or onto the INLS if direct beach access is not possible. The LCU, with a carrying capacity of up to 440,000 pounds, is a crucial amphibious vehicle. It can transport large military equipment such as tanks, armored vehicles, heavy machinery, and vehicles onto beaches or land areas without requiring a port. The LCU not only carries troops, but can also transport essential supplies, ranging from ammunition to medical equipment and other goods needed to support amphibious landings or rescue operations. The transport capabilities of the LCU, Landing Craft Utility, are not limited to carrying combat vehicles. They also include the ability to access areas with difficult terrain or beaches that cannot be directly reached. With its tracks and flexible design, the LCU can cross muddy beaches, deep snow, or even storm-ravaged areas that larger ships cannot access. This allows the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps to move weapons, vehicles, and troops to strategic positions on the coastline quickly and efficiently, regardless of terrain or weather conditions. Imagine this. HIMARS systems can fire precise and powerful rocket salvos from the coast, targeting critical objectives. The ILS, Inland Navigation Launch System, serves as the bridge to position these heavy vehicles exactly where they're needed, ready for assault. As a military expert, how would you assess the importance of the INLS and amphibious landing systems in maintaining combat effectiveness during amphibious operations? Share your thoughts in the comments section below this video. When it comes to amphibious operations, our first thought is often of powerful warships capable of transporting military forces and equipment from distant islands to the shore. This is the specialty of the United States Marine Corps, USMC. Amphibious ships like the San Antonio-class LPD, landing platform dock, stand out as some of the best amphibious assault ships in the world, not only for their ability to transport troops, but also for their capacity to deploy vehicles, aircraft, and amphibious craft ashore. The San Antonio-class ships are remarkable not only for their troop transport capabilities, with space to carry up to 2,000 Marines and 14 heavy amphibious vehicles, but also for their ability to deploy combat vehicles, armored trucks, and helicopters onto land. With a large flight deck, the San Antonio LPD can accommodate and operate heavy amphibious craft like the LCC, Landing Craft Air Cushion, which is an air cushion vehicle that glides over the water, allowing for rapid deployment of troops and equipment to the shore, unaffected by tides or natural obstacles. Notable amphibious operations like the 1983 Grenada invasion and the 2003 Iraq invasion demonstrated the flexibility and effectiveness of amphibious ships and the Marine Corps in securing and controlling coastal areas in diverse combat environments. Specifically, these LPDs can launch 2 air cushion landing crafts, LTACs, or a single landing craft utility, LCU. Other amphibious vehicles, such as the AAV, Assault Amphibious Vehicle, or ACV, Amphibious Combat Vehicle, can also be deployed from the ship. Imagine these vehicles slowly lowering into the water, preparing for the battle on the coastline. It's not just a simple landing, it's an incredible demonstration of technological power and tactical proficiency. What's even more fascinating is that the U.S. Marine Corps also uses the M142 HIMARS, High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, a powerful weapon with a shoot-and-scoot tactic. HIMARS can be deployed from ships or aircraft, firing rockets and immediately moving to avoid enemy retaliation. You can picture HIMARS units not just striking first, but moving like ghosts, making it nearly impossible for the enemy to counter. One of the impressive tests involved deploying HIMARS directly from the deck of a warship, showcasing the weapon's incredible mobility. HIMARS uses rockets like the GMLRS, Guided Multiple Launch Rocket System, which has a range of 3 miles with the standard GMLRS version and up to 186 miles with the ATAMS, Army Tactical Missile System, enabling precise strikes on strategic targets. This system can fire up to 6 rockets in 60 seconds with extremely high accuracy, thanks to GPS and INS, Inertial Navigation System, guidance technology. Targets may include ammunition depots, command centers, radar stations, and moving targets. According to Navy Power's research, one HIMARS battery costs about $14 million, including transport vehicles, the rocket launcher system, and supporting equipment, while each GMLRS rocket costs between $100,000 and $150,000. The precision and flexibility are justified for swift and accurate attack operations. If you agree with this, comment number 1. But landing on the beach is only the first step. Once U.S. forces have secured the beachhead, moving military equipment further inland presents a significant challenge. Rail transport becomes a critical option, especially when rail lines run through major military bases. Rail transport can be cost-effective, but it requires careful preparation, and the deployment speed is not as fast as road transport. Military trucks like the Oshkosh M70 and the M1000 trailers from the US are used to transport the M1 Abrams main battle tanks. Can you imagine the sight of massive M1 Abrams tanks, without engines, being lifted by cranes onto trucks or trains? This is a job that demands absolute precision and perfect coordination between technicians and supporting personnel. Additionally, while rail transport is cheaper, it is much slower compared to road transport. For this reason, the US military and armed forces from many countries still rely on heavy trucks to meet the demands of fast and efficient transport. Let me give you an example from the German military using military trucks from Rheinmetall. The RMMV, Rheinmetall military vehicles, truck line from Germany, such as the HX2, HX60, and HX77, has proven its versatility and durability in all combat conditions. Heavy-duty military trucks like the M1070 Heavy Equipment Transporter, HET, and the M939 series are designed to transport heavy combat vehicles, including tanks, armored vehicles, other military machinery, and supplies. For example, the M70 HET can carry up to 154,000 pounds of cargo, allowing large military vehicles to be moved from ports or logistics hubs to strategic areas, even in rugged terrain or areas without developed roads. Each M1070 can carry an M1 Abrams tank weighing around 132,000 pounds, which helps the US military maintain mobility and readiness on any battlefield. In addition, the M939 series trucks, with a payload capacity of 22,000 to 33,000 pounds, are widely used for transporting weapons, ammunition, and essential military supplies. These trucks can operate in various weather conditions and terrains, from arid desert areas to snowstorms, and can even function during amphibious operations when roads are blocked. According to our research, military heavy trucks like the M1070 HET cost around $1 million each, while other truck models like the M939 range from $50,000 to $150,000, depending on the configuration and special features. In extreme snow and freezing conditions, drivers can use tire chains to ensure the vehicles operate effectively on tough terrains. Whether transporting troops, towing artillery, or recovering equipment, these vehicles maintain optimal performance. These transport methods not only ensure combat readiness, but also reflect the crucial logistics strategies that determine success in any military campaign. In harsh winter conditions, the US military must carefully prepare to face the challenges of ice and snow. To prepare for operations in polar regions, the US military may train in Alaska, but frequently participates in snow and ice exercises in Norway, a NATO member country. One of the key exercises is Trident Juncture, held annually, which helps US military drivers learn how to use tracks and drive vehicles on snow-covered and icy roads. In addition, the US Marine Corps has the opportunity to hone their combat skills in cold weather and mountainous terrain in Germany through the Snow Panzer exercise. This is part of a training plan designed to make Marines proficient in fighting in extreme environments like the Arctic. During winter training, soldiers also undergo special drills, which include operating vehicles in deep snow, moving infantry through frozen areas, and using cold weather gear like winter protective suits and communications equipment that functions in extreme cold. The US military also conducts joint exercises with NATO allies in cold regions like Norway, where they practice winter warfare tactics, from setting up observation posts to deploying forces into remote areas. These invaluable experiences will serve as important assets for future military operations. But training doesn't just stop at tactics and strategy. Training also helps soldiers become accustomed to maintaining combat readiness in freezing conditions, while UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, play an increasingly important role in modern warfare. The US military will also test UAVs in extreme cold environments to evaluate their performance under these harsh conditions. Throughout the history of warfare, US military operations in the Arctic have been rare since the Korean War. However, ice and snow training has been crucial in preparing for future combat operations in polar regions. Fortunately, Tracked combat vehicles have a significant advantage in these conditions, and the U.S. military possesses a wide range of tracked vehicles, such as the Abrams tank and Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. One of the special vehicles used is the BV-206, a famous multi-terrain tracked vehicle that excels not only in snow and ice, but also offers low cost and the ability to carry up to 2.4 tons of cargo or 17 soldiers. According to our findings, with a maximum speed of 40 miles per hour, the BV-206 is an ideal choice for training and combat in the polar regions. The BV-206 is not only used by the U.S. military, but is also exported and widely used by many countries around the world, including Sweden, Canada, Norway, and the United Kingdom, especially for missions in cold regions like Alaska, Northern Europe, and Antarctica. In recent military campaigns, the BV-206 has proven its worth in strategic areas like Afghanistan and Iraq, where complex terrain demands vehicles that can operate effectively in snow, ice, and rugged mountainous terrain. With a price range of $150,000 to $200,000 per unit, the BV-206 is a relatively low-cost vehicle compared to other heavy transport vehicles, yet it delivers exceptional performance in difficult terrain. In addition, the Hoku-Dayan training facility in Hokkaido, Japan, frequently provides the U.S. military with the opportunity to engage in snow driving training exercises. Vehicles like the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle (JLTV) are gradually replacing the legendary Humvee, and their ability to move across snow and ice is an essential factor in their design. Specifically, during training, drivers will operate the JLTV both with and without tracks to experience the distinct difference and see the significant benefits of using tracks in such challenging conditions. Maintaining U.S. military operations in harsh conditions requires a massive logistics system and the ability to deploy forces flexibly. RoRo, roll-on, roll-off vessels, combined with the INS, improved Navy littoral system, are vital tools for transporting military vehicles and equipment, ensuring that logistics and combat forces can reach polar regions quickly. In particular, U.S. Marine Corps amphibious assaults are highly skilled at deploying troops into combat zones from the sea, which is one of their signature strengths. This demonstrates that the U.S. military is ready to face any challenge, even in the extreme conditions of the Arctic. With thorough training and close coordination with NATO allies, the U.S. is sure to overcome any storm and continue maintaining a strong military presence in these regions. What do you think about these training exercises? Could the ability to maintain combat readiness in freezing conditions become a decisive factor in future U.S. military campaigns? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you love stories about naval power, mighty warships, and modern military strategies, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming videos from Navy Power. We will continue to bring you exciting content, in-depth analysis, and the most interesting information about the Navy and global military strength. The legendary A-10 Warthog, dubbed the Tank Killer, once dominated numerous battlefields, with advanced upgrades making it a formidable adversary on par with modern jets like the F-35. Its incredible firepower and durability have earned the A-10 the nickname Tank Hunter. Designed to dominate the battlefield, the Warthog emerged as a result of lessons learned from the Korean War and improvements on the success of the Douglas A-1 Skyraider, making it more powerful than ever. But the question remains, what new upgrades have made the Warthog even stronger, and can it continue to hold its ground in the future, especially when facing modern and complex threats? Join Navy Power as we explore the A-10's upgrade journey and discover what makes its 2025 version a game changer. Back in the 1960s, when the world faced the threat of nuclear war, Pentagon leaders quickly realized that victory depended not only on the number of nuclear weapons, but also on ensuring effective support for ground forces. After World War II, the development of attack aircraft slowed, putting the U.S. at a disadvantage during the Vietnam War. At that time, America's primary attack aircraft was the Douglas A-1 Skyraider, a machine from the Korean War era. However, during the Vietnam conflict, the A-1 revealed its limitations due to a lack of sufficient firepower to penetrate dense jungles and its vulnerability to enemy anti-aircraft fire. In response to these challenges, enhancing close air support became the top priority for the U.S. Air Force. Although the Douglas A-1 Skyraider was aging and in need of replacement, its contributions during the Vietnam War were undeniable. A veteran who served at a search and rescue base on the Laotian border shared. While stationed on the Laotian border, we had plenty of A-1s. This aircraft could carry more weapons than its own weight and was an excellent tool for protecting downed pilots. Despite being an easy target, its slow speed allowed the A-1 to drop bombs accurately just a few yards away from Allied troops, something modern jets couldn't achieve. The slow flight capability of the A-1 Skyraider enabled it to carry out missions that modern jets simply couldn't handle. MAC FOG special units, which carried out secret missions in Laos and Cambodia, consistently praised the A-1 for its ability to protect and save them in life-threatening situations. The A-1 could carry a massive amount of ammunition, allowing it to sustain prolonged attacks before needing resupply. In September 1966, General John P. McConnell, Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, ordered the launch of the AX Attack Experimental Program to counter the threat posed by Soviet tanks. This program attracted many major aerospace companies, with two standout designs emerging, the Northrop YA-9A and the Fairchild Republic YA-10A. After rigorous testing, the YA-10A was chosen due to its superior performance and ability to operate effectively in all weather conditions, ultimately outperforming its competitors. To meet the Air Force's requirements, this aircraft was equipped with a series of enhancements, including a 30mm rotary cannon, a top speed of 460 miles per hour, the ability to take off from runways as short as 4,000 feet, and a payload capacity of up to 16,000 pounds of weapons. Its range reached 285 miles, and the production cost was just about $1.4 million, an economical price for a versatile fighting machine. This led to the creation of the GAU-8 Avenger cannon, considered the heart of the A-10. With a firing rate of up to 65 rounds per second and an accuracy rate of 80%, the GAU-8 can penetrate thick tank armor from a distance of over 1,300 yards. The aircraft can also deploy various types of ammunition, ranging from training rounds to armor-piercing, high-explosive fragmentation, and incendiary rounds. In addition to its main cannon, the A-10 is armed with AGM-65 Maverick missiles and the AGR-20E precision-guided rocket system, enhancing its ability to strike armored targets. The A-10 is not just a combat aircraft, but also a savior for ground troops due to its effective, close air support capabilities. With thick titanium armor and a diverse arsenal ranging from laser-guided bombs to precision missiles, the Warthog remains a strategic asset that allows the U.S. to maintain battlefield dominance. Despite facing evolving global threats, the A-10 has proven its worth in attacking supply convoys and supporting counterinsurgency operations. Notably, the A-10's unique design enables it to operate reliably in harsh conditions. Its two General Electric TF-34 GE100 engines are mounted high on the wings and ahead of the tail, protecting them from debris on the runway. Thanks to its high bypass ratio, these engines produce less heat, reducing the risk of detection by infrared-guided missiles. This is why the A-10 is expected to remain airborne until at least 2040, if not longer. Despite the A-10's impressive capabilities, Congress has questioned whether continuing to spend $4.2 billion to sustain this aircraft is worthwhile, or if it would be better to transition to the more advanced F-35 Lightning II. What are your thoughts on this choice? Is upgrading the A-10 the right strategy to maximize the capabilities of a legendary aircraft, or is the F-35 truly the future of the U.S. Air Force? Share your opinion in the comments and join the discussion on Navy power. The A-10C upgrade program, which began in 2005, brought significant advancements, including the addition of precision weapons, modern digital displays, and laser targeting systems. These improvements have made the A-10 more suited to the demands of modern warfare. Notably, the Suite 10 version, launched in 2021, was a breakthrough, featuring the V12 system that enhances communication between pilots and ground support teams, including rescue teams and downed pilots. This enables the A-10 to participate effectively in close air support and search and rescue missions under the most challenging conditions. However, the A-10 still faces challenges when penetrating enemy airspace in modern conflicts. Its lower speed compared to other fighters makes it an easier target for anti-aircraft missiles. To address this weakness, the A-10 has been equipped with long-range weapons, allowing it to strike from a safe distance without needing to get too close. Its advanced weapons systems enable it to launch missiles from afar while maintaining agile maneuverability in the air. One of the most critical upgrades is its night combat capability, thanks to night vision goggles (NVG). The A-10 can operate effectively at low altitudes at night, precisely targeting ships using the new AR-12 system, which reloads rockets 4 times faster than before, making the A-10 even more dangerous to adversaries. Another significant upgrade is the Suite 9 system, introduced in 2019, allowing Joint Terminal Attack Controllers, JTACs, to send their coordinates directly to the A-10's computer. This prevents friendly fire incidents and enables the aircraft to engage multiple targets simultaneously with precision-guided weapons. With a single button press, the pilot can release up to 6 types of bombs at once, something that previously required considerable effort and time. Pilots can now deploy bombs such as the GBU-38 and GBU-31 JDAM, with the system automatically calculating whether the target can be hit in a single strike. The A-10's cockpit has also been upgraded with the Hobbit hybrid optical-based inertial tracker helmet, which more accurately tracks the pilot's head movements, enhancing target acquisition. With the capacity to carry up to 16,000 pounds of weapons across 8 wing hardpoints and 3 fuselage hardpoints, the A-10 can deploy a variety of bombs, including 500-pound Mark 82 bombs, 2,000-pound Mark 84 bombs, and GBU-39 bombs. Alongside its projectile arsenal, such as laser-guided AGM-65 Maverick missiles, 2.75-inch unguided rockets, and AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles, the A-10 becomes a versatile combat machine, ready to handle any situation. The Situational Awareness Pad in the Suite 9 upgrade has completely transformed how the A-10 interacts with Allied forces on the battlefield. Pilots no longer need to search frantically for their comrades in chaotic, dusty, debris-filled environments. Instead, they can receive precise, real-time location data. This not only minimizes errors, but also ensures the safety of friendly forces, allowing the A-10 to maintain its combat effectiveness without endangering allies. Despite undergoing numerous significant upgrades, can the legendary A-10 Thunderbolt II continue to dominate modern battlefields? Under pressure from Congress and facing stiff competition from the F-35 Lightning II, the U.S. Air Force has had to prove that the A-10 remains the optimal choice for ground support missions. To do so, they have implemented key upgrades like Suite 10 and Suite 11, significantly enhancing the Warthog's combat and survivability capabilities. Suite 10 brought breakthrough capabilities to the A-10, particularly with advanced targeting systems like the BAE Systems Vision X Scorpion. This system provides pilots with critical information as they turn their heads, reducing target acquisition time and increasing combat efficiency. Now, the A-10 can engage multiple targets simultaneously with a single button press, fully integrating AGM-30 APKWS missiles for precise long-range strikes. Additionally, the addition of GBU-30 V3 JDAM bombs and new fuses offers more precision attack options. Suite 11, currently being tested by the 40th Flight Test Squadron in Florida, will equip the A-10 with modern cockpit displays, enhanced audio systems, improved GPS jamming resistance, and upgraded communication system. These enhancements will not only keep the A-10 operational, but also ensure its battlefield dominance through 2030 and beyond. Notably, the re-winging project, which lasted from 2007 to 2019, has strengthened the aircraft's wings, reducing the need for continuous repairs and ensuring the flying tank remains combat-ready for the long haul. But what truly sets the A-10 apart from its competitors? Look no further than its unmatched survivability. Designed to withstand hits from armor-piercing and high-explosive 23mm rounds, the A-10 can continue flying even with one engine shot out, a damaged tail, or even a missing portion of its wing. In 2003, during the Iraq War, pilot Kim Campbell managed to safely return her A-10 to base even after the aircraft was hit, damaging its engine and hydraulic system. The plane was still able to fly thanks to its manual backup control system, demonstrating its incredible resilience. The A-10 is not only a powerful combat machine, but also extremely easy to maintain in harsh conditions. Almost all major components, like the engines, tail sections, and landing gear systems, can be quickly swapped between sides, speeding up maintenance and reducing downtime. Designed like a flying tank, the A-10 is armored with up to 1,200 pounds of titanium alloy, with 1.5-inch thick plating around the cockpit to protect the pilot from ground attacks. But can a heavy aircraft like the A-10 keep fighting if its fuel system is hit? Engineers planned for this by placing 4 fuel tanks near the aircraft's center and encasing them in polyurethane foam to prevent leaks. Even if all 4 tanks are punctured, the aircraft can still fly an additional 230 miles using 2 special backup fuel reservoirs. Since its inception, the A-10 has undergone a series of rigorous tests to ensure optimal performance. Notably, in the 1970s, a 2-seat YA A-10B variant was developed to test its ability to operate in all weather conditions. Recently, Lieutenant Christopher Earle from the 59th Test Squadron noted that continuous testing since 2020 has helped the A-10 optimize its effectiveness against heavily armored targets. Upgrades like Suite 10 and Suite 11 have given the A-10 superior capabilities in countering high-tech threats. However, the most critical factor remains the durability of the Warthog, designed to protect pilots and complete missions even in the harshest environments. With these enhancements, the A-10 Thunderbolt II is not only powerful on the battlefield, but also flexible in its tactical deployment, ready to tackle tough missions across various theaters of operation. Its ability to take off and land on short and makeshift runways makes the A-10 a vital tool in frontline campaigns, where infrastructure is often limited. The simple yet effective design of the A-10 allows for easy maintenance, even with limited equipment, a fact proven in numerous real combat operations. A prime example of the Warthog's power was its involvement in Operation Desert Storm in 1991, when the US intervened in Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. During the First Gulf War, the A-10 destroyed over 900 Iraqi tanks, along with 2,000 other combat vehicles and 1,200 artillery pieces. A remarkable achievement for an aircraft designed in the 1970s. The A-10 didn't stop there. It also participated in numerous other conflicts, from Grenada, the Balkans, Afghanistan, Iraq, to the fight against ISIS in the Middle East. To ensure its combat readiness in all conditions, the 422nd Test and Evaluation Squadron is currently researching low-altitude night flying tactics with enhanced night vision technology. They are also testing rescue operations in high-risk scenarios and targeting enemy ships using smart rockets like the AGR-2 APKWS. The AGR-2 APKWS is an advanced version of the traditional 2.75-inch rocket that the A-10 began using in 2013. Thanks to these upgrades, the Warthog remains a top choice in modern combat situations, especially for challenging missions in complex terrain. The A-10's exceptional capabilities are the reason why its retirement plans have been repeatedly delayed. In 2021, the A-10 once again demonstrated its formidable power in a bombing campaign against ISIS, prompting the U.S. Air Force to delay its planned retirement. Instead, they began developing a long-term version of the A-10. Initially, the Pentagon intended to phase out the A-10 by 2022, but now both the Air Force and the Department of Defense have agreed to extend its lifespan for many more years. After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, there were suggestions that the A-10 could assist Ukraine in countering Russian tanks. However, the discussion eventually shifted toward providing F-16s to Kyiv. Although the future of the A-10 remains contentious, with initial plans to replace it with the F-35 by 2028, its cost-effectiveness and proven performance may keep it flying into the 2030s. Looking back, the A-10 has retained its vital role thanks to its adaptability and durability. With its unique features like the GO-8 Avenger cannon, titanium armor, and powerful weapon systems, the A-10 has proven to be indispensable in close air support missions. From the roar of its cannon to the precision of its bombs, the Warthog has cemented its place in military history. So, what do you think? Does the Warthog still deserve to soar in the skies, or is it time for newer generations of fighter jets to take its place? This system not only protects Israel's skies, but also showcases the resilience and innovation of the nation. But what types of missiles can Israel's air defense actually stand up to? And what potential impacts could this development have on Israel's military defense capabilities? Let's find out. Since declaring independence in 1948, Israel has faced numerous conflicts and used a variety of weaponry to defend its borders. During the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, Israel relied primarily on World War II-era weapons, including handguns, mortars, and basic armored vehicles. By 1956, in the Suez Crisis, Israel joined forces with France and the UK in a campaign against Egypt, marking the first display of Israel's Air Force strength with advanced aircraft. Later, during the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel achieved a resounding victory, partly due to French Mirage 3 fighter jets that ensured air superiority. This war also saw the deployment of Soviet T-54 and T-55 tanks. In 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, more advanced American fighter jets appeared, emphasizing the importance of anti-tank missiles, especially the Soviet-made RPG-7, which was in the hands of Arab forces. By the 1990s, tensions escalated when Hezbollah launched numerous missiles into northern Israel from Lebanon, presenting an unexpected and significant security challenge for the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. Facing a persistent threat from these attacks, Israeli authorities began considering the development of a short-range missile defense system. However, the project encountered difficulties as U.S. defense officials raised legitimate concerns about the budget and resources required to implement an effective missile defense system. Nevertheless, the Israeli Ministry of Defense continued its relentless research and development efforts, collaborating with top experts. Ultimately, they devised the design for the Iron Dome, a groundbreaking defense system that not only embodies Israel's commitment to protecting its people, but also demonstrates the nation's capacity for innovation and adaptation amid increasingly complex security threats. The story of Iron Dome truly began in 2004, when Brigadier General Daniel Gold led the IDF's research and development unit. A strong advocate for the project, he even navigated around military procurement regulations to secure funding. Gold also played a crucial role in garnering political support for the project. In particular, during the Second Lebanon War in 2006, Hezbollah launched approximately 4,000 rockets into northern Israel, including into Haifa, Israel's third-largest city. The attacks killed 44 civilians and forced about 250,000 Israelis to evacuate. Approximately 1 million Israelis had to take shelter in bomb shelters or neighboring areas throughout the conflict. In southern Israel, over 8,000 rockets were fired from Gaza, primarily by Hamas, between 2000 and 2008. Most of these rockets were launched from 122mm Grad rocket launchers, offering a longer range than other methods and posing a greater threat. This situation posed a severe security threat to Israel and millions of southern Israelis within missile range. Amid the attacks and complex security situation, the world showed varied reactions to the plight of the Israeli people. Israel's allies, especially the United States and many Western nations, consistently expressed support for Israel's right to self-defense and condemned the rocket attacks targeting civilians. People worldwide prayed for Israel to overcome these challenging trials, with everyone hoping for peace and safety for the Israeli people, wishing them resilience through hardships and a glimpse of hope amid the turmoil. These prayers and expressions of faith were sent with the hope that peace and calm would soon return to this land. In an effort to strengthen defense capabilities, in February 2007, Defense Minister Amir Peretz chose the Iron Dome system as a defensive solution to counter short-range missile attacks, aiming to protect civilians from increasing threats. Since then, the $210 million system was developed through a collaboration between Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, creating one of Israel's most advanced defense systems, designed to detect and neutralize various airborne threats, such as short-range rockets, artillery shells, and ballistic missiles. Since its initial deployment, Iron Dome has become renowned for its exceptionally successful interception rate, protecting both civilians and critical military assets from missile and rocket attacks. So what makes the Iron Dome system so exceptionally powerful? What enables its near-perfect interception capabilities? How does it operate? Let's continue exploring. The Iron Dome's core mission is to detect and neutralize immediate threats from short-range projectiles, primarily missiles and 155mm artillery shells, with a range of up to 43 miles. The remarkable feature of Iron Dome is its operational effectiveness, which remains unaffected by any external environmental factors, whether day or night, in adverse weather conditions, or when dealing with multiple threats simultaneously. This system's flexibility and reliability truly stand out, underscoring its essential role in protecting Israel's territories and citizens. At the heart of Iron Dome lies its detection and tracking radar, a watchful eye developed by ELTA, a defense company that is a subsidiary of Israel Aerospace Industries, in collaboration with the IDF. This radar system has the crucial task of identifying incoming missile launches and continuously tracking their trajectories. It uses phased array radar modules to scan large areas rapidly, capable of monitoring multiple targets simultaneously. The Iron Dome radar emits electromagnetic waves into the surrounding space and receives return signals from objects within its surveillance range. Based on these return signals, the radar can calculate and determine the location, speed, and direction of moving targets, enabling it to analyze and assess the threat potential. The radar can detect threats from a maximum distance of up to 43 miles, depending on the target, providing enough time for the system to respond to threats from rockets, artillery, and UAVs. Upon detecting a high-risk target, the radar quickly transmits information about the target's location and trajectory to Iron Dome's command and interception system. Real-time data analysis enables the system to monitor any changes in the target's direction or speed, optimizing interception accuracy. This watchful eye not only sees but also understands, swiftly evaluating the threat level of each target. Many believe that this capability has made Iron Dome exceptionally accurate and versatile. What do you think about this opinion? If you agree, comment 1 below the video to let us know your view. Alongside the radar eye, another essential component is the Battle Management and Weapon Control Center, BMC, considered the strategic heart of Iron Dome, coordinating all critical defense actions and decisions. Created through a partnership between Rafael and Israeli software company Esed Systems, this center is responsible for processing all radar data, accurately assessing the trajectory of detected threats. Only when a target is confirmed to genuinely threaten a designated area will the system activate the intercepting missile, ensuring each launch is highly accurate and no resources are wasted. The final piece of the system is the missile launcher unit, which plays the critical role of launching Tamir interceptor missiles. Developed by Rafael, Tamir is equipped with advanced electro-optic sensors and multiple control fins that enhance maneuverability and precision. Each Iron Dome battery typically includes 3 to 4 launchers, each containing up to 20 interceptor missiles, enabling the system to handle multiple threats simultaneously. The readiness of these launchers not only demonstrates the strength of Iron Dome, but also highlights the seamless integration of technology and tactics. The effectiveness of Iron Dome is evident in its streamlined operation and high-tech coordination. The system's ELM-2084 radar continuously scans the airspace, detecting threats and capturing initial trajectory data, which is essential for precise interception calculations. When the radar provides the necessary data, the command center rapidly analyzes and assesses the threat level, ensuring that only actual threats are targeted. The system activates an interceptor launch only when a threat is confirmed as genuinely dangerous. Once a threat is identified, Iron Dome immediately enters combat mode, launching an interceptor missile to neutralize the target before it reaches the projected impact area. The Tamir missile's superior maneuverability allows it to intercept targets accurately, enhancing the system's overall effectiveness. So, can a sophisticated defense system like Iron Dome continue to maintain its edge in the future as weapon technology advances? Do you believe that the Iron Dome system truly serves as Israel's perfect shield? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What makes Iron Dome Israel's invisible shield against missile attacks? Join Navy Power to explore the details of this defense system. What sets Iron Dome apart from traditional missile defense systems is its innovative deployment model. Unlike centralized systems, where all components are clustered together, Iron Dome uses a distributed structure where each launcher operates independently and can be remotely controlled via secure wireless connection. This setup provides exceptional flexibility, enabling the system to respond swiftly to shifting threats. Reports indicate that each Iron Dome battery can protect an urban area of approximately 58 square miles, demonstrating its extensive coverage capacity. This approach aligns perfectly with Iron Dome's core mission, providing comprehensive protection against continuously evolving threats. However, on October 7, 2023, Israel was suddenly struck by a large-scale missile attack from the armed Hamas group in Gaza, with thousands of rockets targeting multiple sites across Israel. Reports indicate that over 3,000 rockets breached Israel's defenses, resulting in approximately 1,300 Israeli casualties. In response, Israel immediately launched a counteroffensive and declared war on Hamas. Shortly thereafter, Israel also decided to deploy its advanced laser defense system in the conflict, marking a significant strategic shift in this confrontation. Israel first began researching laser weapons in the mid-1970s, when its military experts recognized the potential of this technology to enhance defense capabilities. Collaborating with major defense companies like Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, and Rafael, Israel focused on understanding the core principles of laser technology and its potential defense applications. In the early stages, they achieved notable successes with foundational prototypes, highlighted by the successful 1976 test of a gas dynamic laser with 10 kilowatts of power. This type of laser technology generates energy through chemical reactions, as opposed to traditional lasers that rely on electrical energy sources. The gas dynamic laser uses chemical reactions to produce energy capable of emitting a laser beam powerful enough to damage airborne targets. One advantage of gas dynamic lasers is their ability to generate beams with power ranging from tens to hundreds of kilowatts, sufficient to destroy targets such as rockets, missiles, and drones. Although initial, this achievement laid the groundwork for later breakthroughs, fueling aspirations to develop high-energy lasers for defensive purposes. A major milestone came in 1982 during the Lebanon War, when Israel deployed precision-guided weaponry, signaling a shift toward more advanced and precise weaponry. By the mid-1990s, Israel continued its collaboration with the United States to develop a battle laser system with the goal of creating a short-range missile defense system using chemical lasers based on deuterium fluoride, capable of generating up to 2 megawatts of power, enough to intercept unguided artillery shells and rockets mid-flight. In 2014, Rafael officially introduced the Iron Beam system, known in Hebrew as Keren Barzel, and also referred to as Magen Or or light shield. This directed energy weapon is designed to intercept and neutralize short-range threats like rockets, artillery shells, and mortars, with an effective range of up to 4.3 miles. Iron Beam operates alongside Iron Dome to counter missiles launched from greater distances and can also intercept drones, establishing itself as the sixth essential component in Israel's integrated defense system alongside Arrow 2, Arrow 3, David's Sling, and Iron Dome. Iron Beam uses fiber optic lasers to produce directed energy beams that can operate independently or integrate into a larger air defense system, enhancing response capabilities against airborne threats. Many believe that Iron Beam's laser technology is ushering in a new era in defense. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Iron Beam's operation begins by detecting threats through surveillance and tracking platforms, followed by an immediate counteraction. So, why do directed energy weapons like Iron Beam have an advantage over traditional missile interception systems? This advantage is due to their low operational cost, continuous firing capability, and minimal human intervention. Additionally, they eliminate the problem of interceptor missile debris falling in protected areas, making each interception safer. The cost per shot for Iron Beam is only around $2,000, compared to $100,000 to $150,000 per traditional interceptor missile launch. Reports from 2016 indicated that Iron Beam's laser reached power levels in the tens of kilowatts. By 2020, the system was estimated to engage targets from about 4.3 miles away, neutralizing missiles, UAVs, and mortar shells within approximately 4 seconds of contact. Iron Beam uses a solid-state laser, generating high-power beams through special crystals or semiconductor materials stimulated electrically. When radar detects a threat, rocket, artillery shell, or UAV, the target tracking system locks onto it and directs the laser beam precisely at the moving object. Once locked, the system emits a high-power laser beam, creating intense heat on the target's surface. This heat can melt, deform, or destroy key components, causing the target to explode or fall. Iron Beam's laser is fired immediately once target lock is achieved. The laser's near-light speed velocity enables it to counter threats significantly faster than interceptor missiles, ensuring more effective defense against fast-moving targets. By 2023, experts anticipated Iron Beam's power could exceed 100 kilowatts, allowing the system to focus its beam with coin-sized precision at a range of 6.2 miles. Iron Beam is the result of 5 years of solid-state laser research and development, led by Rafael, with funding from the Israeli Ministry of Defense and support from the United States. Initially designed for mobility and independent operation, Iron Beam was later adapted to a stationary system to optimize weight and power. This adjustment also facilitated integration with the Iron Dome system, reducing the overall complexity. The original plan included 2 laser units with power levels between 100 and 150 kilowatts, sufficient for effective defense against close-range threats. While Israel continues to improve its defense systems, its concerns over Iran's nuclear ambitions remain high. Recently, Iran captured global attention with the unveiling of its hypersonic missile, the Fatah. This 2-stage solid-fuel missile boasts an impressive range of up to 870 miles and terminal phase speeds of Mach 13 to Mach 15. What truly sets Fatah apart is its warhead's innovative spherical engine, which uses solid fuel and a movable nozzle, enabling precise multi-directional control and adaptability across various environmental conditions. With its exceptional speed, Fata not only extends its range, but significantly shortens target response time, making it a formidable challenge for defense systems. Notably, Fata's maneuverability allows it to operate both inside and outside the atmosphere, rapidly altering its trajectory and creating substantial challenges for defense systems. Iran claims this missile can bypass all existing missile defense systems, potentially marking a major advancement in Iran's missile technology. If Fata's capabilities are proven, this hypersonic missile could pose a significant challenge to global missile defense architectures, even complicating advanced systems like Iron Dome, which are designed for slower-moving threats with more predictable trajectories. This development raises regional concerns and introduces a new dimension to the global security landscape. However, Israel's military technology and capabilities are widely recognized, and the debut of its advanced laser defense system, Iron Beam, in April 2022 further reinforced Israel's strategic position. Nevertheless, Israel's technological prowess and military capabilities remain undeniable. In 2022, the Israeli Ministry of Defense and Rafael announced that Iron Beam had successfully intercepted UAVs, missiles, mortars, and anti-tank rockets. This accomplishment is a crucial milestone for Iron Beam, which effectively operates over short ranges from a few hundred meters to several miles, a particularly useful feature given concerns about Iron Dome's ammunition potentially being insufficient for sustained attacks. Under this pressure, Prime Minister Naftali Bennett declared in February 2022 that Israel intended to deploy Iron Beam within a year. However, by October of that year, Rafael indicated it might take an additional 2 to 3 years for the system to reach 100 kilowatts of power and complete deployment. By May 2023, Rafael introduced the naval version of Iron Beam, designed for installation on warships. This naval Iron Beam delivers 100 kilowatts of power within a range of several miles, aimed at protecting ships from threats like UAV swarms and anti-ship missiles. The system retains the turret's size and can be integrated into ship structures or containerized modules, allowing for flexible deployment. The naval Iron Beam is expected to be equipped on Israel's Reef-class corvettes within the next 4 to 5 years. With superior accuracy and cost-effectiveness in countering close-range threats like mortars and missiles, Iron Beam brings substantial advancements to Israel's defense capabilities. Iron Beam's short-range capability is particularly vital since Iron Dome primarily focuses on more distant targets. Amid ongoing conflicts with neighboring nations, Iron Beam's contribution to Israel's military capabilities is undeniable. Notably, the interception cost per shot for Iron Beam is only a few dollars, compared to approximately $100,000 for Iron Dome, an impressive technological and financial benefit for Israel's defense system. Although deployment commitments for Iron Beam have been in place since 2020, the official operational status of the system has not yet been disclosed. The secrecy surrounding the program may be due to the sensitivity of laser weapon technology and its defensive applications. Nevertheless, expectations remain high for Iron Beam's full integration into Israel's defense system. Iron Beam plays a crucial role in Israel's multi-layered defense network, complementing systems like Arrow, David Sling, and Iron Dome, ensuring comprehensive protection and the ability to counter various types of missile threats. With its precise targeting of short-range threats such as mortars and rockets, Iron Beam provides a significant strategic advantage, reducing costs and enhancing national protection effectiveness. Beyond benefiting Israel, Iron Beam also offers potential for other countries facing threats from short-range projectiles. This technology marks a significant step forward in laser-based missile defense technology and holds the potential to reshape missile defense strategies globally. In the modern military world, not everyone realizes that every day, US satellites are facing relentless attacks from both Russia and China. Both of these countries have tested hypersonic weapons capable of launching devastating strikes against the US. Now, in this high-stakes international chess game, it's the US's turn to make a decisive move, one that could be seen as the final checkmate from a master. Can you guess what that move might be? It's a bold and dramatic step. The US is preparing to roll out a global surveillance plan from space, with the ability to track every movement, every moment, on the entire planet. This might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But it's reality, turning into fact what was once confined to the pages of fiction. Now, the US will be able to see every aircraft, every vehicle moving, every conversation taking place underground. In an instant, all secrets will be exposed, and anyone daring to confront this power will face unimaginable consequences. We are entering a new era where surveillance is no longer a distant concept, but a power that cannot be hidden, where everything can be seen from above. Will this be a major leap forward for the US, or a double-edged sword leading to unforeseeable consequences? Let's dive into this incredible technology in today's Navy Power video. Recently, Russian defense officials announced that they launched a hypersonic missile, the Kinzhal, at Ukraine on March 18, 2022. This marked the first use of the Kinzhal missile, which travels 5 times the speed of sound in actual combat. Meanwhile, China has also been pushing the envelope by testing a hypersonic missile far more powerful than the Kinzhal, with a speed 5 times faster. This missile is part of the Fractional Orbital Bombardment System, FOBS, a missile capable of carrying a nuclear warhead into low Earth orbit, and when the time is right, re-entering the atmosphere to strike any target anywhere in the world. It's similar to an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, but with longer range, higher speed, and is extremely difficult to detect and intercept. This took US experts by surprise when China first tested the FOBS in 2021. Specifically, according to anonymous sources from the US intelligence community, the Financial Times revealed a shocking detail. China tested a hypersonic missile with nuclear capabilities in August. The frightening part is that, unlike any weapon known before, this missile flew around the Earth like a ghost before suddenly accelerating and striking its target. Many members of our writing team view this as an impressive technological breakthrough, leaving US intelligence experts completely stunned. This advanced space capability isn't just a military challenge, but a serious warning, proving that China has reached a whole new level in the space and weapons race. FOBs, a technology once considered a relic of the Cold War, could now be the game-changer in modern nuclear arms competition. However, a question is emerging on international discussion tables. If the recent reports about the test are accurate, China will be the first country to possess this capability. Will the development of FOBs, a missile system capable of orbiting the Earth, truly give China an unprecedented strategic advantage? This is a question that threatens to shake up the international community, as it seems everything is just beginning to unfold. So the question arises, if faced with these hypersonic weapons, what will the US do to protect the country? The answer isn't to wait and hope that old defense systems will work. Instead, the US has taken proactive and creative steps, and recently, we witnessed a significant turning point in the US space defense strategy. To counter increasingly sophisticated threats, the US Department of Defense has decided to deploy a series of space satellites to track hypersonic weapons, a move that could completely change the game. Recently, the Space Development Agency, SDA, announced a contract worth $1.3 billion to launch 28 small satellites into orbit within the next 3 years. These satellites will play a crucial role in the national space defense strategy, helping the US with early warning and tracking of dangerous missiles from space. This is the first step in building a national space architecture that includes 2 layers of satellites, a transport layer and a tracking layer. The transport layer will provide low-latency military data communication for global combat platforms. The tracking layer will focus on detecting and tracking advanced missile threats, including hypersonic missiles, using algorithms to detect, process, and analyze data from space. According to Navy Power, the Tranche 1 tracking layer will be built on the foundation of Tranche 0, but with targeted technological improvements that offer superior capabilities. The focus of the Tranche 1 tracking layer is to develop a global satellite constellation dedicated to missile warning and tracking using infrared technology integrated with the low-latency communications network of the transport layer. This allows for the tracking of not only conventional missiles, but also advanced ones, starting from low Earth orbit, a rapidly developing field. The satellites in the Tranche 1 tracking layer will be deployed from the SDA's Operations and Integration Center at Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota and Redstone Arsenal in Alabama. In 2022, Congress approved an additional $550 million in funding for the SDA to accelerate the deployment of the tracking layer. The specific goal is to demonstrate the ability to warn, track, and target missiles in space to support the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. The SDA's vision is not only to develop a modern system, but also to create a highly resilient global strategy that can quickly respond to threats and meet the needs of all combatant commands while minimizing deployment costs. In the face of increasing missile and space threats, deploying such a system provides not only a strategic advantage, but also represents a major step forward in ensuring U.S. dominance in the global space and defense race. Imagine this. Once these satellites are operational, almost the entire planet will be covered by a surveillance network, with at least 2 satellites capable of observing any point on Earth at any time. This not only creates an excellent defense layer, but also provides the U.S. with extremely critical intelligence in space warfare, where every second could be a matter of life and death. What do you think of this remarkable strategy? Can it protect the U.S. from future space threats? Share your thoughts in the comments. It's well known that space is becoming a crucial front in modern warfare. But there's a big question. Can the U.S. military protect its satellites from threats posed by nations like Russia and China, adversaries developing increasingly powerful anti-satellite technologies? According to the latest information from the Space Development Agency, SDA, the U.S. has begun deploying a new network of satellites to defend the skies. Called the tracking layer, this system will consist of hundreds of small satellites, enhancing the ability to detect and track missiles, even if adversaries try to neutralize the U.S. satellites. This development is truly a turning point. Just 4 years ago, General John Hyten, while serving as the commander of U.S. Strategic Command, warned of the need to modernize the U.S.'s space surveillance capabilities to address new ballistic missile threats. In just a few years, the U.S. has mobilized an additional $550 million from Congress to expedite the deployment of a tracking layer, a strategy that not only aims to protect satellites, but also create a robust defense layer for America's defense systems. This is critical, not only because of the missile threat from China, but also because Russia is increasing its capabilities to attack U.S. satellites. Recent satellite imagery reveals that Russia has begun developing a laser system capable of blinding satellites, a technology that could incapacitate reconnaissance satellites without generating dangerous debris in space. This project, known as Kalina, is being developed at Russia's Krona facility, renowned for its advanced optical technologies. The first trace of this project surfaced in 2002, when Kalina was mentioned in a doctoral thesis as the name of a study commissioned by the Russian Ministry of Defense and assigned to NPK-SPP. The original goal of the project was to develop adaptive optical systems for giant telescopes to compensate for distortions caused by the atmosphere and the telescopes themselves. However, what no one anticipated was that Kalina would go beyond the realm of optics. Kalina has actually evolved into a space weapon, a sophisticated attack system hidden under the guise of scientific research. 3 independent sources we've consulted have provided clear evidence of the project's shift toward military purposes. First, in January 2014, A publicly available bank guarantee document revealed that Kalina was designed to create a system for counteracting the functions of satellite photonic systems using solid-state lasers combined with adaptive optical transmission reception system. A year later, in 2017, another document surfaced, describing Kalina as a space security complex, a term also used for the Burevestnik anti-satellite system, a project believed to be related. Finally, in the 2013 annual report by NPKSPP, one of the rare online reports, the organization acknowledged its involvement in developing a laser system for photonic warfare. Notably, this report described Kalina as a special quantum optical system, using similar terminology to refer to a system that Rosatom is developing, which is likely Perisvet, a system believed to be capable of destroying satellites from orbit. So what about China? That's right, they are also involved in this space race. In a 2022 research paper, Chinese researchers pointed out that combining soft and hard attack methods is critical for taking down SpaceX's Starlink satellite network. Given the immense military and communication value Starlink provides to the US, destroying it would disrupt one of America's greatest advantages on the battlefield. A recent intelligence report from the US Space Force revealed that China is rapidly building its space capabilities, with over 970 new satellites launched in a short period. These satellites, which are said to support precision strikes against US aircraft carriers, expeditionary forces, and air forces in the event of conflict, are raising concerns about a new Chinese military strategy. According to another document on space threats, in 2024, China's military deployment activities included 20 satellites launched between March and June. These satellites not only serve surveillance purposes, but are also designed to provide long-range precision strike capabilities against US and allied forces, offering a dangerous ability to strike from space. The People's Liberation Army, PLA, space forces are developing a range of offensive tools, including anti-satellite missiles, electronic jamming systems, robotic satellites, and orbiting spacecraft. These technologies could be used to attack and disrupt US space information systems, as well as destroy critical military facilities in space belonging to other nations. The intelligence report also suggests that the PLA may view space counteroffensive operations as an effective deterrent against US military intervention in a regional conflict. It's clear that the space war is no longer a distant concept. The three major military powers, the US, Russia, and China, are all vying for control of space with the most advanced technologies at their disposal. From brutal electromagnetic attacks that can paralyze entire communication systems, to precision missiles capable of puncturing the atmosphere and launching into orbit, these have all become indispensable weapons in modern defense strategies. These weapons are not merely the evolution of military technology, they are sharp blades that can sever any ties between nations, leaving adversaries at a disadvantage in the blink of an eye. A space attack could completely destroy satellite systems, disrupt communications, and cripple strategic military bases. This is no longer a war of gunfire or ground battles, it's an invisible war, taking place in space where every wrong decision could lead to a global catastrophe. A misstep in this strategy would not only have unpredictable consequences, but could also plunge the entire world into an unprecedented crisis, where space is not just an area to explore, but the battlefield that will determine the survival of nations. So the question is, can the US maintain its dominance in space? Small satellites will help the US military detect and counter missile threats, but can adversaries find ways to overcome this protective layer? This competition is certainly far from over. One thing is certain, we will continue to witness the rapid development of military space technology as each new step could reshape the future of warfare. You may not know, but one of the most promising military programs in the US right now is the Prompt Strike program, developed for the Zumwalt-class destroyers. This program allows the Zumwalt to launch ballistic missiles, which then release a hypersonic vehicle capable of traveling at speeds 7 to 8 times faster than sound before accurately striking its target. This weapons system is being developed jointly by the U.S. Navy and Army, with each Zumwalt ship being equipped with 12 hypersonic missiles, divided into 4 launch tubes, with 3 missiles in each tube. Although the Zumwalt costs up to $7.5 billion, many analysts view it as a risky investment, especially since it has faced criticism regarding its value and practical utility in combat. However, the Zumwalt is not just an expensive warship, it also serves as a testing platform for advanced military technologies. Originally, the Zumwalt was designed to provide ground strike capabilities with an advanced gun system using rocket-assisted shells to clear the way for Marines to assault the shore. However, according to our findings, one noteworthy point is that the 155mm gun system was cancelled due to its high cost, with each rocket-assisted shell priced between $800 and $1 million. So, what do you think about this space race? Does the US have enough defense capabilities to counter the increasingly sophisticated threats from Russia and China? The battle in space is heating up by the day, and the development of space weapons will shape the global landscape. Share your thoughts under this video and let us know how you assess the current situation. If you want to stay updated with in-depth analysis and quick updates on military technology and space defense, don't forget to subscribe to the Navy Power channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any important news. Have you heard of a design that transcends the boundaries of modern aeronautics? A nearly invisible war machine, undetectable by radar systems, and an ambitious $300 million project spearheaded by the Pentagon. The X-44 Manta is not just an aircraft, it's a symbol of the future of modern warfare. But why is such a masterpiece shrouded in secrecy? Is it America's ultimate strategic trump card, or merely an unfulfilled dream in the arms race? Why was this aircraft designed to be invisible? And is there any way to counter it? Join Navy Power as we delve into the mysteries surrounding this extraordinary plane. Developed by Lockheed Martin, the X-44 Manta is a stealth aircraft unlike any that came before it. With its revolutionary tailless design, the X-44 can accelerate to Mach 1 within seconds, a record among fighter jets. This aircraft boasts an operational range of 3,000 nautical miles, can fly continuously for 50 hours with refueling, and is capable of precision strikes on targets in remarkably short timeframes. Imagine an aircraft that can seamlessly perform reconnaissance and execute strategic attacks. This means it is not just a tool for gathering intelligence, it's a formidable offensive weapon. With a special coating called parallax, the X-44 achieves near-total invisibility to both radar and the naked eye. This coating operates as an integrated system of cameras and displays, allowing the aircraft to disappear from an opponent's view. Can you believe an aircraft could vanish right before your eyes? But that's not all. The X-44 project was mysteriously shelved, and information about it virtually disappeared from public view. Could its power be so immense that it must be kept secret even from allied nations? Recent leaks from the Pentagon confirm that the aircraft not only exists, but is being enhanced to undertake even more complex combat missions. The X-44 Manta's arsenal is like a nightmare from the future, designed to overwhelm every defense system in the world. Equipped with hypersonic missiles reaching staggering speeds of 2,850 miles per hour, it can obliterate targets 1,000 miles away before the enemy even detects the threat. And that's just the beginning. Hidden within its optimized payload bay are 8 tons of advanced weaponry, ranging from GBU-53B SDB-2 smart bombs, capable of striking targets with an accuracy of 1 meter, to stealth EMP warheads that disable all electronics within a 31-mile radius, plunging adversaries into complete darkness. If that's not enough, its 150 kilowatts high-energy laser system can incinerate cruise missiles or satellites from up to 310 miles away, making it a terrifying force both on the ground and in space. The dramatic centerpiece of the X-44 is its brain, an advanced artificial intelligence system capable of analyzing battlefields in real time, prioritizing targets faster than any human operator. Integrated with long-range sensors that scan up to 930 miles, the X-44 not only detects every enemy movement, but also delivers preemptive strikes before the opposition can react. Additionally, it carries precision-guided bombs and an electromagnetic railgun capable of emitting EMP pulses to devastate enemy electronic infrastructure. Picture the X-44 soaring across the battlefield at 740 miles per hour in full stealth mode. Even without deploying its weapons, its presence alone would be enough to terrify adversaries. This is not just a fighter jet, it's the lightning bolt of modern warfare. If the X-44 Manta truly exists, it signifies a monumental leap in military technology. The Manta program, with its potential to redefine aerial combat, vanished quietly, like a forgotten dream. Although NASA and the U.S. Air Force recognized the groundbreaking promise of this bold design, the fate of the Manta was sealed before it could take flight. By 2000, the program was entirely canceled, leaving only a single prototype, a poignant reminder of a future that never came to be. At the time, the U.S. defense budget faced significant cuts following the Cold War. However, the devastating events of September 11, 2001, caused the defense budget to surge once again, but it was too late for earlier plans to materialize. In an alternate timeline, if the Manta program had been implemented in time, the X-44 could have become more than just a marvel. It might have served as a strategic game-changer in aerial warfare. Instead, it remains forever in the realm of what could have been, provoking the question, did the world miss a monumental historical milestone due to unforeseeable events? How do you defend against an enemy you cannot see? How do you respond to a threat that could emerge at any moment? What would other nations do to keep up in this technological race? The X-44 project was not only a significant leap in defense, but also posed strategic challenges to the world. It represented more than just an aircraft. It heralded a new era of warfare, where those who possess cutting-edge technology dominate conflicts. What are your thoughts on a future where technology like the X-44 determines the outcomes of wars? Is humanity ready to face the challenges it brings? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The future of technology has arrived, and the X-44 Manta stealth aircraft is the clearest testament to that. Far from being merely a formidable weapon with its parallax stealth coating and hypersonic missile capabilities, the X-44 Manta is also a reliable defensive shield. More importantly, the release of information about the Manta has highlighted the importance of transparency in military development. Do you believe technologies like these could reshape the global landscape? These innovations bring both opportunities and challenges. As we witness an explosive new era of aviation technology, the Lockheed Martin X-59, developed in collaboration with NASA, is redefining perceptions of passenger transportation. Its unconventional design might soon become a familiar sight, thanks to its supersonic speed, 1.5 times the speed of sound. But that's not its only remarkable feature. Did you know that this project cost $250 million and required over 300 engineers to complete? The goal of the Low Boom Flight Demonstrator project isn't just to create a supersonic plane, but to minimize noise pollution, a factor that previously hindered supersonic technologies. The problems associated with sonic booms and their inconvenience have long been significant obstacles, but the X-59 offers hope for improvement. NASA's efforts are not only reducing noise, but also aiming for a greener future with higher commercialization potential. To achieve this, engineers tackled numerous complex challenges. Previously, the noise from supersonic aircraft engines reached levels of 110 dB, a volume dangerous to human health. Lockheed Martin spent over 7 years designing the X-59 with its distinctive elongated nose to mitigate sonic booms when breaking the sound barrier. Do you think this could finally break the sonic boom curse and make supersonic flight a reality? Can you imagine soaring through the skies at nearly 1.5 times the speed of sound without hearing the deafening sonic boom? NASA is turning this vision into reality with the X-59 supersonic aircraft. The X-59 boasts a unique design, including an 11.5-meter-long pointed nose and a cockpit without a traditional windshield. In fact, pilots cannot see directly ahead and must rely on an external vision system, XVS, a cutting-edge technology combining advanced cameras and display screens. The aircraft measures 29 meters in length with a 9-meter wingspan and achieves a stunning speed of Mach 1.4, 1,715 kilometers per hour, cruising at altitudes above 55,000 feet. But the most groundbreaking aspect? The X-59 is engineered to quietly conquer the skies. Instead of generating thunderous sonic booms, it emits a sound as gentle as closing a car door. The aircraft is now fully assembled and gearing up for its first test flights. Technologically, the project employs state-of-the-art materials such as carbon fiber and titanium alloys to ensure strength and lightness. The General Electric F-44GE-100 engine, originally used in the F/A-18E/F Super Hornet fighter jet, has been customized to align with the commercial objectives of the X-59 project. But can an engine designed for combat meet the demands of supersonic passenger transport at speeds of 100 miles per hour? That remains a critical question for engineers to answer. To ensure operational efficiency, NASA and Lockheed Martin have developed specialized training simulations for future pilots. However, many have raised concerns about the safety and effectiveness of this ambitious project. What happens if the noise still exceeds acceptable levels? To address these concerns, the development team has proactively engaged with local residents in test areas, offering transparent information to minimize negative reactions. NASA plans to conduct test flights over several U.S. cities to gather data on noise levels and community feedback. These findings will be shared with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and international regulators. The preliminary design phase of the X-59 began in February 2016, marking a significant milestone in the journey toward advancing supersonic aviation technology. Initially, the plan was to begin flight testing in 2021. However, due to numerous technical challenges and other external factors, the project timeline experienced delays. As of January 2024, the latest schedule sets the goal of delivering the X-59 to NASA within the year to begin critical flight tests. Stay tuned with Navy Power as we await the next test flights. Are we on the verge of witnessing a monumental breakthrough, or is this just an overly ambitious dream? What you think might provide valuable insights for top engineers. Do you remember the Concorde, the legendary supersonic aircraft that once bridged the US and Europe across the Atlantic? The Concorde, a timeless marvel, soared through the skies at an astonishing speed of 1,354 miles per hour, twice the speed of sound, reducing the journey from London to New York to just about 3 hours. It was a feat that still leaves the world in awe. Yet behind the glamour and record-breaking milestones lay a story of contradiction. Its massive development costs turned the Concorde into a great icon, but also a financial burden. However, the Concorde was more than just an aircraft. It was a bold statement that Europe, through unprecedented collaboration between governments and manufacturers, could transcend technical boundaries to redefine the future of aviation. Emerging in the 1970s, the Concorde became a symbol of speed, but issues with cost, noise, and safety led to its grounding in 2003. Now NASA and Lockheed Martin are reviving supersonic commercial aviation with the ambitious X-59 QST project. Can they rise above the shadow of the Concorde and usher in a new era for aviation? To tackle the challenges that doomed the Concorde, Lockheed Martin engineers have completely redesigned the X-59. The most striking difference? The cockpit no longer features a traditional front windshield. Instead, an external vision system technology allows pilots to see through images transmitted from external cameras to cockpit displays. This is a significant leap forward, but will this technology perform reliably in real-world conditions? Imagine sitting in a supersonic plane where you can't directly see the view ahead. Would you feel confident? That's why flight testing is vital to validating every technological breakthrough. When the X-59 takes off, you'll be amazed by its quiet operation. From afar, it resembles a graceful kite more than a supersonic beast. But don't be fooled by its appearance. The initial phase of each flight focuses on evaluating basic performance characteristics and executing fundamental maneuvers like altitude changes and controlled movements. Pilots rely on cameras and sensors for navigation, and initial test results have exceeded expectations. The highlight of every test flight is breaking the sound barrier, a feat the Concorde once achieved. The difference is that the X-59 is designed to minimize the noise generated by shock waves, enabling it to overcome bans on supersonic flights over densely populated areas. Do you think supersonic sound can now be quiet? A future like that is closer than you think. The success of the X-59 could mark the return of supersonic commercial aviation. However, significant challenges remain, with ticket prices being a critical issue that hindered Concorde's sustainability. Will ticket costs decrease as the X-59 enters mass production? Experts believe that with today's technological advancements, fares could become more reasonable. But would you be willing to pay a premium for the experience of supersonic travel? Some analysts predict that by 2025, we will witness the first commercial flights of the X-59. Yet skeptics question whether the ban on supersonic passenger transport can truly be lifted. They wonder, will the X-59 deliver economic feasibility, or will it become another Concorde? The enigmatic aircraft, known as the X-59, has officially stepped into the limelight, igniting the aviation world. On August 4, 2023, Lockheed Martin sent shockwaves through the global aviation community by releasing a dramatic video showing the X-59 rolling out of its hangar. By January 5, 2024, Lockheed Martin issued a cryptic press release hinting at a major revelation related to the X-59 within a week. As promised, on January 12, 2024, the X-59 was officially unveiled to the public. Its sleek design, reminiscent of futuristic sci-fi films yet grounded in the most advanced modern technologies, captivated audiences. The peak of anticipation came in November 2024, when the powerful supersonic engine of the X-59 was fired up for the first time during a landmark test. Now, all eyes are on 2025 when the X-59 is expected to take its maiden flight. Can this aircraft achieve the unthinkable, flying at supersonic speeds while remaining silent? Could this be the stepping stone to making supersonic air travel a reality within reach? Undeniably, the X-59 is creating a significant buzz in the aviation industry. From a defense journalist perspective, this project is not just a leap forward in technology, but also holds profound strategic significance. As we've explored, the X-44 Manta, the ultimate successor to the F-22 Raptor, embodies the future of combat aviation, breaking free from all creative limits. Tailless and uncompromising with traditional designs, the X-44 represents the revolutionary leap paved by the F-22. But have you ever wondered, if the X-44 is the new pinnacle, what incredible power made the F-22's legendary reputation? The F-22 Raptor, despite showing its age, remains an unshakable icon of modern battlefields. Its speed, superior stealth capabilities, and exceptional air combat performance have made it the king of the skies for over 2 decades. In every confrontation, the F-22 is not just a war machine, but a statement of absolute dominance. While the X-44 may surpass the F-22 in design and technical performance, can it capture the spirit and overwhelming power of its predecessor? Every time the F-22 roars across the sky, it inspires a mix of awe and fear. Why has the United States been willing to invest an astronomical amount in the F-22, one of the most expensive fighter jets in history? What justifies such a staggering cost? Could there be a secret behind this bold decision that keeps the world on edge? The F-22 Raptor, often referred to as the crown jewel of the U.S. Air Force, is not only the most advanced fighter jet, but also one of the costliest military programs in history. The total development cost reached $108 billion, and each flight hour cost $68,000, far exceeding aircraft like the F-15E or F-16C. This does not include the expensive maintenance and operational costs that span the jet's life cycle, totaling tens of billions of dollars. So why is the US still committed to investing in this program? Debuting in 2005, the F-22 Raptor has become more than just an air superiority fighter. It is a symbol of Western military power. The US Air Force required a fighter jet that was truly superior, and the F-22 emerged as the answer, equipped with cutting-edge technologies, unparalleled stealth capabilities, supercruise speed without afterburners, and unmatched agility and maneuverability. These advantages have earned the F-22 its nickname as the Invisible Predator, dominating any airspace it traverses. Imagine a fighter jet that appears unexpectedly, silently tracks its enemy, and vanishes before its adversary can react. This encapsulates the power of the F-22, the most formidable air superiority fighter ever built. Designed to reclaim aerial supremacy from the Soviet Union's Su-27 and MiG-31, the F-22 is more than just stealthy. It boasts technologies far ahead of its time: supercruise without afterburners, the ability to track and eliminate targets from extraordinary distances, and devastating firepower, including 6 AIM-120D missiles with a range of 112 miles and 2 short-range AIM-9X missiles. Several nations, including Japan and Australia, have coveted the F-22. Surprisingly, this demand led the US to impose an export ban. The Raptor's technology is too sensitive and advanced to fall into any hands outside the Pentagon. The F-22 is not just an aircraft, it is a strategic weapon, a response to the growing threats posed by Russia and China. With its absolute stealth capabilities, the F-22 can penetrate deep into enemy airspace without leaving a trace. Its powerful engines deliver exceptional speed and maneuverability, making pursuit attempts futile. Advanced electronic warfare systems ensure the F-22's survival even in the harshest environments, protecting pilots and maintaining aerial dominance. However, the F-22's exorbitant cost raises questions. Is this investment truly worth it? According to the Pentagon, the answer is a resounding yes. The F-22 is not merely a weapon, it is a declaration of US power, a message to any challenger that America's invisible predator is unbeatable in the skies. As adversaries race to advance aerial combat technologies, the F-22 is a clear statement. The US remains the unrivaled leader, with the Raptor as undeniable proof. Ambitions of this magnitude come with immense risks. Initially, the Pentagon planned to produce 750 F-22s, but the number quickly dwindled to 195, with only 183 operational units. The US Air Force remains the sole operator due to the export ban, even though nations like Japan and Australia were willing to pay a premium for it. Each F-22 costs between $137 million and $340 million, depending on the calculation method, and its complex stealth coating requires constant maintenance after supersonic flights, driving up operational costs. Despite this, the US Air Force continues to affirm that the F-22 is a worthwhile investment. Designed to maintain air superiority, the Raptor is expected to remain in service until 2030, while awaiting the next-generation fighter, NGAD. The F-22 is not just a fighter jet. It is a symbol of America's ambition and unmatched strength. It serves as a bold statement. In these skies, no rival can challenge the reign of the Raptor. Why do the F-22 and X-44 represent the future of aerial warfare? The battle for the skies hinges on speed, stealth, and absolute information dominance. In this context, the F-22 Raptor and X-44 Manta are not just combat machines. They are flying nightmares capable of absolute airspace control. When it comes to the F-22 Raptor, no one can deny it is one of the most dangerous fighter jets ever created. Surely, even Navy power and enthusiasts like you would agree. The F-22 is not merely an aircraft, it is the embodiment of dominance. With near-perfect stealth capabilities, it renders enemies blind on the battlefield. Even the most advanced radar systems cannot detect it until it's too late. Once the F-22 locks onto its target, no adversary has a chance to fight back. Speed is a significant advantage, but the F-22 is not just fast. It is a supersonic jet that can maintain Mach 2 without afterburners, remaining more agile than any competitor. This means the F-22 can arrive, strike, and leave before the enemy even has a chance to react. Imagine this scenario. An enemy squadron flies confidently across the sky, assured of their defenses. But in mere moments, one by one, the planes begin exploding, and no one can understand what's happening. The F-22 had been there long before, and now it leaves nothing but shards of metal in the air. Not only that, the F-22 is a master of information. Its advanced sensor systems can track dozens of targets simultaneously, coordinate tactical operations with other forces, and do so without a single command. The F-22 isn't just a fighter, it's an aerial commander. If the F-22 represents the present, then the X-44 Manta is the future of warfare. Developed from the F-22 platform, the X-44 is a groundbreaking advancement in design and combat technology. The most striking feature of the X-44 is its tailless design, which completely eliminates traditional control surfaces. This not only enhances its stealth capabilities, but also transforms it into an aerodynamic marvel, making it nearly undetectable and incredibly difficult to shoot down. But what truly makes the X-44 a beast is its full-thrust vectoring system. Without relying on conventional aerodynamic surfaces, the X-44 can change direction in an instant, performing sharp turns or barrel rolls that no other aircraft would dare to attempt. This makes it a lethal predator in close-range dogfights. The X-44's power doesn't stop there. With integrated artificial intelligence, it can operate as an unmanned combat aircraft, making decisions and completing missions without human intervention. This opens the door to a battlefield where pilots are no longer needed in the cockpit, and the X-44 becomes an unstoppable force. The X-44 Manta is not only a symbol of cutting-edge aviation technology, but also a challenge to every limit humanity has ever set. So, do you think the X-44 could truly become the ruler of the skies in the future? What are its potential applications beyond military operations? Or who could be its most worthy rival in the air? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your opinions and perspective. If you love stories about advanced machines, groundbreaking fighter jets, and bold visions of the future, hit the like button to support us. Subscribe to the Navy Power channel now and turn on notifications. There's plenty of exciting content coming your way. Have you ever imagined living on a massive warship with thousands of people while war rages around you? This is the reality that sailors on aircraft carriers face. These ships are not just floating bases, they are also mobile airports, packed with fighter jets, helicopters, and all the necessary resources to function like a small city. But when war breaks out, what actually happens aboard these ships? Let's explore the intense journey of the sailors with Navy Power Channel, from rushing to combat positions to the moment fighter jets take off, and how complex weapon systems protect the ship from enemy threats. First, let's talk about life on an aircraft carrier. How do you feel about not seeing land for months, even years? With around 6,000 sailors on board, this requires vast amounts of food, water, and ammunition to ensure they can operate for extended periods. Imagine living in a city in the middle of the ocean, with amenities like a gym, movie theater, and even Starbucks. But don't let the comfort fool you, as the living conditions on the ship depend a lot on your rank. Junior sailors often share cramped sleeping quarters and communal bathrooms, while senior officers have private rooms and better amenities. However, the most valuable thing aboard is the sense of camaraderie. Sailors from all over the world come together on this ship, forming close bonds that can last a lifetime. But it's not just about living and working. Did you know that the aircraft carrier operates 24/7, even while you sleep? With hundreds of tasks, From aircraft maintenance to ship operations and emergency response, every sailor must stay highly focused. A moment of carelessness could lead to disaster, especially with the constant threat of war. So, how does an aircraft carrier prepare for war? Preparedness doesn't even begin to describe it. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier is designed not just to withstand attacks, but to retaliate with overwhelming force. For example, the AN/ESPA-1 radar system can track hundreds of targets simultaneously, from missiles to enemy aircraft. Paired with weapons systems like Sea Sparrow or Phalanxes, the ship can eliminate threats from afar, ensuring the safety of the crew and aircraft on board. Moreover, aircraft carriers boast a formidable air wing, including F/A-18 Super Hornets and F-35C Lightning IIs, which provide precise strike capabilities on targets hundreds of miles away. Everything on board is designed to operate like a mobile base, from the ability to produce over 400,000 gallons of fresh water daily to the logistical systems that ensure the ship can operate for months without resupply. This is why aircraft carriers are not just symbols of power, but also floating fortresses, always ready to respond to any threat, anywhere on the ocean. Before the ship sets sail, meticulous preparations are made, from equipping advanced technology to practicing tactics. Did you know that each aircraft carrier is equipped with world-class radar and weapon systems? This is why the U.S. Navy ensures there are no risks. However, missiles aren't the only threats. Enemy forces also use aircraft to enhance attacks, which is where the AN/SPS-48 radar system comes into play. With a range of up to 250 miles, this radar gives the ship's air wing ample time to mount a counterattack. If you were a sailor on this ship, how would you handle these challenges? Would you be strong enough to endure the pressure of constant warfare and life on board? Share your thoughts and leave a comment below this Navy Power video. Imagine being adrift in the vast ocean, where threats come not only from the sky, but also from below the surface. How does the U.S. Navy maintain the upper hand against every threat? One of the secrets lies in the SPS-49 radar system. This system is designed to detect ships and objects on the water's surface with a range of up to 200 miles. This not only helps in detecting dangers in time, but also ensures avoidance of collisions or crowded waters. What do you think? With technology like this, is it hard to lead at sea? But radar alone isn't enough. The U.S. Navy's aircraft carriers are truly floating cities with unmatched power. Looking at the weapons on board, we see the presence of missiles, guns, and even modern torpedoes. One of the standout systems is the Phalanx CIWS, close-in weapon system. Did you know that this defense system can fire thousands of rounds per minute, enough to destroy incoming missiles and aircraft at close range? It's like the last firewall protecting the ship from immediate threats. What do you think? If you were the commander, would you trust this system to protect the ship's fate? Did you know that this automatic gun system can fire up to 4,500 rounds per minute? This wall of fire can eliminate cruise missiles, drones, and even small boats at close range before they can cause harm. According to our research team, the Phalanx CIWS is equipped with an incredibly sensitive target tracking radar and operates fully automatically from detection to firing. With its 20mm M61 Vulcan Gatling gun, this system can create a bullet wall so fast it's almost invisible to the naked eye. When it comes to long-range weapons, we can't overlook the Tomahawk cruise missile. This missile can strike targets as far as 1,500 miles away, enough to attack across continents. What's special about the Tomahawk is that it can be launched from various platforms, including surface ships, submarines, and even aircraft carriers. What does that suggest? A weapon that is not only powerful, but versatile, key to maintaining America's superpower status. It's not just about weapons. The aircraft carrier is also the home to the most advanced military aircraft. Imagine standing on the flight deck and witnessing an F/A-18 Hornet, a powerful fighter jet with supersonic speed, armed with missiles for air-to-air, air-to-ground, and even bombs. Known as the Rhino, This aircraft conquers the skies and can also carry out ground strike missions. What do you think? In battle, would you choose the Hornet or another type of aircraft? For early threat detection, think of the E-2 Hawkeye, the eye in the sky of the U.S. Navy. With its radar system capable of scanning the entire sky for hundreds of miles, the Hawkeye serves as an early warning shield, helping the aircraft carrier and fleet prepare for any potential danger. The answer lies in the modern communication systems aboard aircraft carriers. One example is the Integrated Voice Communication System, IVCS. This system connects everyone on the ship through phones, radios, and intercoms, even in the most intense combat situations. An aircraft carrier is equipped with over 3,000 phones to ensure smooth communication. What do you think about managing a floating city with that many communication devices? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever wondered what makes the U.S. Navy's aircraft carriers operate so efficiently? It's not just advanced technology, it's also the skilled and well-trained crew. Imagine thousands of people on a massive ship, each with their own role, yet they all work together to run a floating city in the middle of the ocean. And what's interesting is that every one of them goes through a rigorous training program to ensure they're ready to face any scenario, from crises to warfare. Let's start with pre-deployment training. Did you know that each sailor undergoes months of training before stepping foot on the ship? They are taught in classrooms, practice on simulators, and even train at coastal facilities. The training covers a wide range of skills, from basic safety procedures like using firefighting equipment and operating life rafts to handling emergency situations. These skills aren't just theoretical, they're hands-on, because even a small mistake can lead to serious consequences out at sea. Now, let's imagine. What do you think it would be like to navigate a massive ship like an aircraft carrier in harsh weather conditions? It's a challenge that requires not only skill, but also seamless coordination within the entire team. The sailors in the navigation department must be proficient in using advanced radar systems like the ANSPY-1, GPS navigation systems, and even traditional tools like maps and compasses. But that's not all. They also need to be skilled in planning routes to avoid dangerous waters, calculating currents, tides, and weather forecasts to ensure the ship operates safely. As for the engineering crew, they must know how to operate the ship's propulsion, electrical, and air conditioning systems. Everything is designed to keep the ship running at its optimal state. But that's not the end of it. Do you think everyone aboard needs to know how to operate weapons? Yes, every sailor is trained to operate weapon systems, from anti-aircraft guns to interceptor missiles. They also learn how to coordinate with the ship's air wing to launch and recover aircraft in combat situations. Specifically, handling aviation fuel and weapons requires the utmost caution. One small mistake could lead to catastrophic consequences. Another noteworthy point: every sailor must know basic first aid. They are trained to deal with mass casualty situations because in the harsh ocean environment, response time is critical. Have you ever imagined how you'd handle a severely injured teammate in the middle of a battlefield? Finally, all training culminates in strict tests, including written exams, practical tests, and real-world simulations. Do you feel confident that you could pass these challenges to become part of the team aboard an aircraft carrier? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts. How can the entire crew be ready at a moment's notice to face an emergency? This is when the preparation and rigorous training truly get tested. Stay tuned, as the Navy Power Channel will take you through it next. Imagine one ordinary day on an aircraft carrier suddenly turning into a whirlwind of intense activity. Alarm bells ring and sailors rush to their battle stations. On the flight deck, pilots quickly prepare their gear, check the aircraft's weapon systems, and get ready to take off. What do you think it would be like to face this kind of suspense, where everything is hanging on a knife's edge? In the command center, the control tower becomes the focal point, coordinating the takeoff and landing of aircraft. Meanwhile, the ship's defense weapon systems are activated, scanning the horizon for incoming missiles or enemy aircraft. At the same time, the medical team is ready to handle casualties, while the engineering crew continuously checks the ship's systems to ensure everything is running smoothly. They repair, maintain, and ensure the weapon systems are always at peak performance. The command team is just as busy, communicating with other military forces to coordinate a synchronized response. In your opinion, what makes this coordination run so smoothly? In just minutes, aircraft are launched, weapon systems are ready to fire as soon as a threat is detected. Every sailor is in their designated position, some operating radar, others controlling missiles, each of them completely focused. However, even in the most dangerous situations, every sailor follows their assigned tasks without fail. They know that even the smallest mistake could have serious consequences. That's why professionalism and discipline are vital aboard an aircraft carrier. If you agree that this is the epitome of responsibility, leave a 1 in the comments below. When the ship enters combat mode, everything turns into a perfect collaboration. One of the first missions is air defense, using weapon systems like guns and missiles to deal with airborne threats. At the same time, advanced radars and sensors are fully utilized to protect the carrier in every situation. Think about sonar systems, a technology we can think of as the ship's ear. With its ability to detect underwater sounds, sonar not only spots enemy submarines, but also provides accurate data to track and locate them. For instance, the AN/SQS-53 system, a type of active and passive sonar, is commonly used on aircraft carriers and escort ships. With a detection range of dozens of miles, it can distinguish between submarines and natural underwater objects. Once a threat is identified, the aircraft carrier can immediately deploy Mk-46 or Mk-54 torpedoes from escort ships or anti-submarine helicopters like the MH-60R Seahawk to eliminate the target. But defense isn't the only mission. The aircraft carrier also takes on offensive tasks, which include launching aircraft to conduct bombing runs, missile strikes, or destroy targets at sea and on land. All of this is coordinated tightly with the command center to ensure the attacks are effective and on target. What do you think about having to defend and attack simultaneously? Could this be the greatest challenge the crew faces? To prepare for the worst-case scenario, the damage control team is always on standby, ready to respond quickly if the ship is hit or encounters a malfunction. Have you ever wondered what allows the U.S. Navy aircraft carriers to remain operational even when under attack? The secret lies in the flawless coordination among specialized teams, such as damage control, firefighting, water damage handling, and the chemical, biological, and radiological CBR team. Each team has its own responsibilities, but all work toward the same goal: ensuring the ship is always ready to complete its mission, no matter the challenges. Another vital factor is logistics. Did you know that each aircraft carrier can produce over 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day, thanks to its desalination system? This ensures a continuous supply of water for the crew during long deployments that can last for months. Not only water, but the ship is also fully stocked with food, ammunition, and fuel, all managed through a tight supply chain. This preparation allows the aircraft carrier to maintain its combat readiness for extended periods without worrying about running out of resources. But what happens after the battle is over? Do you think everything goes back to normal immediately? The reality is much more complicated. If the situation isn't too severe, the ship's commander will issue a stand-down order, allowing the crew to return to their routine duties. However, if the ship has just undergone a fierce battle, the technical teams will conduct a thorough inspection, from the hull to the weapon systems and other critical components. Any damage must be repaired immediately, as a ship never knows when the next threat will arrive. In more serious cases, if there are casualties, the ship's medical team will continue to treat the wounded, while conducting a comprehensive evaluation to ensure they receive the proper care. Once all inspection, repair, and treatment procedures are completed, the ship will return to its normal operational status, ready to patrol, train, or continue its mission. Now, let's take a step back in history to explore one of the most important wars the U.S. Navy ever participated in, the Gulf War, also known as Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. During this conflict, several U.S. aircraft carriers were deployed to the Persian Gulf, providing air support to ground forces and conducting airstrikes on Iraqi targets. These victories highlight the pioneering role of the U.S. Navy in combat situations at sea. From upgrading operational readiness to preparing sailors and aircraft for battle, life aboard an aircraft carrier during wartime is far from easy. But thanks to dedication, courage, and a strong work ethic, these massive ships not only complete their missions, but also protect the nation. In the proud history of the U.S. Navy, which story impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you're fascinated by the power and cutting-edge technology of these warships, have you ever wondered why the U.S. Navy, capable of neutralizing the most powerful missiles, finds itself threatened by slow, non-stealth kamikaze drones? It may sound strange, but this is a real challenge. As consecutive attacks occur in the Red Sea, the United States is facing an almost impossible task. That task is integrating laser weapons into the most advanced carrier fleet in the world. Join the Navy Power Channel as we explore this groundbreaking military technology. Aircraft carriers are the ultimate symbols of national power. The size and scale of a carrier fleet serve as a measure of a nation's military strength. Currently, the United States possesses the largest and most powerful carrier fleet in the world, with 11 ships, far surpassing any other country. Each ship in this fleet is larger than any other aircraft carrier worldwide. Of the 47 active aircraft carriers globally, the United States accounts for nearly a quarter, and the total deck space of its carriers is double that of all other nations combined. This is undeniable superior power. U.S. aircraft carriers are currently divided into two classes, 10 Nimitz-class carriers and one Gerald R. Ford-class carrier. The Nimitz-class carriers, including well-known ships like USS Nimitz, USS Truman, USS Bush, and USS John C. Stennis, are monumental symbols of U.S. military power and the Navy's global presence. Each Nimitz-class carrier is not just a vessel, but a mobile fortress capable of performing multiple roles, from defense to offense. These ships are equipped with modern fighter jets like the F/A-18 Hornet and F-35, capable of delivering precision strikes with immense firepower. Their advanced launch systems enable rapid deployment and access to strategic areas, ensuring flexible combat capabilities across all fronts. They carry numerous fighter aircraft, cutting-edge launch systems, advanced weaponry, and elite crews. Notably, the USS Ronald Reagan is the only Nimitz-class carrier stationed in Japan, demonstrating America's strong commitment to Asia-Pacific security, enhancing cooperation with regional allies, ensuring stability, and addressing potential threats from rival nations. However, 2017 marked the debut of the legendary successor, USS Gerald R. Ford, the first ship in the Ford class. This is not just a carrier, it's an ocean-dominating machine. With a construction cost of $13 billion, USS Gerald R. Ford has become a symbol of U.S. power, especially after the Hamas attacks on Israel on October 7th. Its presence commands respect from all adversaries. So what makes USS Gerald R. Ford unique? If you know, comment below and see if your opinion matches ours. It is equipped with two Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors, delivering a capacity of 300 megawatts, 3 times that of Nimitz-class carriers. With this immense power, the ship can reach a maximum speed of 35 miles per hour and operate continuously for 25 years without refueling. This means that over its 50-year lifespan, the carrier only needs to refuel once, a remarkable breakthrough in nuclear technology. The Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors achieve superior efficiency by using fission reactions to generate energy. Inside the reactor core, enriched uranium fuel rods containing U-235 are bombarded with neutrons, initiating fission and producing massive amounts of heat energy. This heat energy heats water in a closed system, creating high-pressure steam to spin turbines connected to generators, providing electricity not just for the main engines, but also for advanced systems like radar, laser weapons, and EMALS. Moreover, the Advanced Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, EMALS, enables faster and more efficient aircraft launches compared to traditional steam catapult systems. The EMALS on the USS Gerald R. Ford represents a technological breakthrough, utilizing electromagnetic induction instead of steam compression to launch aircraft from the ship's deck. Each system, valued at $450 million, can handle up to 4,100 aircraft launches before requiring maintenance. The ship's advanced arresting gear system is also designed to accommodate up to 16,500 landings. The system's structure includes an electromagnetic rail running along the launch deck, a shuttle connected to the aircraft, and high-energy capacitors storing electricity generated by the nuclear reactors. When activated, a powerful current flows through the coils along the rail, creating a strong magnetic field based on the Lorentz principle, propelling the shuttle forward with adjustable acceleration tailored to each aircraft type, from small UAVs to fighter jets like the F-35C. Compared to steam systems, EMALS offers superior precision in launch force control, reduces stress on aircraft airframes, extends equipment lifespan, and enables 25% faster aircraft deployment. Drawing power directly from the nuclear reactors, EMALS ensures a stable energy supply, allowing the carrier to sustain prolonged operations during extended missions. By combining nuclear power and advanced launch technology, the USS Gerald R. Ford not only enhances efficiency and reliability, but also demonstrates unparalleled flexibility and superiority in combat scenarios. This achievement surpasses all other carriers worldwide, making the USS Gerald R. Ford a true floating fortress, excelling in both firepower and operational effectiveness. The USS Gerald R. Ford is not only a symbol of naval power, but also a platform of extraordinary destructive capabilities. Armed with cutting-edge weaponry, the carrier is equipped with 2 Mk-29 guided missile launchers and 2 Mk-49 launchers, capable of firing surface-to-air missiles to neutralize targets miles away. Additionally, it features 3 5.S close-in weapon systems, 4 M38 25mm autocannons, and 4 M2 Browning .50 caliber machine guns, creating a highly effective layered defense system. However, the true strength of the USS Gerald R. Ford lies in its air wing, supported by a deck area nearly the size of 2 football fields. The ship can carry up to 75 fighter jets and UAVs, and in emergencies, this number can increase to 90, exceeding the Air Force capacities of over 60 nations worldwide. The FA-18 Hornet and FA-18 Super Hornet execute attack and support missions, carrying heavy weaponry and operating effectively in all combat conditions. Notably, the stealth fighters F-35B and F-35C, with radar-evading capabilities and precision strike abilities, maintain the carrier's dominance in any confrontation. Despite being equipped with advanced technologies, the U.S. Navy faces a significant challenge. These aircraft carriers are designed to counter high-level threats, but struggle against low-level dangers like cheap suicide drones. Could laser weapons be the key to protecting modern aircraft carriers? What's your take on this issue? Leave a comment below and join the discussion with us on the Navy Power Channel. The issue became more apparent in the Red Sea when the USS Ford and later the USS Eisenhower were deployed to counter attacks from Yemen's Houthi armed group. The Houthis used inexpensive drones to target vessels associated with Israel and other nations. Within just a few months, the U.S. strike group and allies in Operation Prosperity Guardian shot down more than 90 Houthi explosive devices, mostly drones. However, each drone costs only a few thousand to $100,000, while U.S. air defense missiles cost up to $2.1 million each, a staggering 2,000% cost disparity. Shooting down just 50 drones can amount to $100 million, a financially unsustainable equation. Meanwhile, missiles, designed to target fighter jets worth hundreds of millions of dollars, are being used to counter much less significant threats. This imbalance is putting immense pressure on the Navy, and the problem is only expected to get worse. But that's not the worst part. Ground-based air defense missiles, which are intended to protect fleets from airborne threats, have proven ineffective against swarms of attacking drones. And the danger escalates when these drones fly in swarms, overwhelming defense systems with sheer numbers. This is a significant issue. Each U.S. warship can only carry a limited number of intercept missiles. Once these missiles run out, the ship is defenseless until it is resupplied. The problem becomes even more complicated when resupplying missiles in remote areas, far from U.S. shores, becomes an incredibly difficult task. The U.S. Navy can't always rely on rapid resupply, especially when the supply lines are in a hostile region. In the face of these challenges, laser weapons emerge as a revolutionary solution. Lasers can neutralize targets faster, more accurately, and most importantly, at a fraction of the cost of interceptor missiles. This capability not only protects warships from low-level threats, but also ensures economic sustainability. Today, air defense systems are more critical than ever, and the U.S. is betting on a weapon that feels straight out of science fiction: laser weapons. While missiles remain a cornerstone of space defense for major powers, including the U.S., their limitations have become evident. This has prompted the U.S. Navy to transition to a superior technology: laser weapons, delivering strikes at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. What makes laser weapons superior is not just their speed, but their incredibly low cost. A single shot requires just a few dollars worth of electricity, compared to millions of dollars per missile intercept. Moreover, lasers require no ammunition, allowing nearly unlimited firing capacity as long as the ship has power. With this technology, multiple drones can be destroyed within a second before they even realize what's happening. What do you think about this capability? Share your thoughts under this video and join us in discussing the awe-inspiring potential of this technology on the Navy Power Channel. The U.S. Navy has invested heavily in developing a complete generation of laser weapons. In 2014, the first laser weapon was tested, the Laser Weapon System S, with a power output of 33 kilowatts, mounted on the transport ship USS Ponce. The system operates on the principle of solid-state lasers, using light energy to generate high-energy laser beams. When activated, the system draws power from the ship to energize laser amplification materials, typically crystals or glass, infused with special dopants. This process boosts the energy of photons within the material, creating stimulated emission, the foundation of laser technology. The high-energy beam is then focused through a system of mirrors and lenses to precisely target objects. When the laser beam contacts the target, the immense thermal energy quickly heats and destroys its components. For drones or small vessels, loss can burn engines, damage electronics, or destroy critical components such as wings or hulls, rendering the target inoperable. Laos is also equipped with an advanced control system, including radar and optical sensors, to detect and track targets in real time. This allows the system to automatically adjust the laser beam, ensuring precision even when targets are moving. Notably, Laos can modulate the laser's intensity depending on the threat level, from dazzling to warn to complete destruction. However, the effectiveness of LOES is highly dependent on weather conditions, such as rain, fog, or dust, which can reduce the energy transmission efficiency of the laser beam. Nevertheless, this simple yet powerful principle has proven LOES's superiority in addressing low-level threats quickly and economically, paving the way for the development of future military laser systems. This success has laid the foundation for further research, leading to the creation of Helios, high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance system, a 60-kilowatt laser system expandable to 150 kilowatts, developed by Lockheed Martin. Helios is the first fixed laser system installed on a destroyer and is seamlessly integrated with the advanced Aegis radar system. How do you think this laser technology could reshape modern warfare? Share your thoughts in the comments below and follow the Navy Power Channel for more fascinating updates. Most recently, the HELCAP High Energy Laser Counter-FUM program developed a 300 kilowatts laser weapon, marking a major breakthrough in U.S. Navy defensive capabilities. Notably, in 2022, Northrop Grumman was tasked with developing a super laser with a power output of 1 megawatt, a promising milestone in the advancement of military laser technology. With such high power, this weapon can neutralize not only suicide drones and small vessels, but also more complex threats like hypersonic missiles. Hypersonic missiles, traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, are among the most significant challenges for current defense systems because they can evade traditional interceptors. However, a 1 megawatt laser weapon can track and destroy these targets the moment they appear, thanks to its real-time precision tracking and striking capabilities, effectively eliminating concerns about the speed of hypersonic missiles. This 1 megawatt laser system not only provides a tactical advantage in protecting warships from aerial threats, but also represents a paradigm shift in how we conceptualize maritime defense. The lack of ammunition requirements, low operational cost, and ability to deliver continuous attacks make laser weapons a promising alternative to traditional missile defense systems, which are expensive and limited in quantity. As the conflict in the Red Sea and tensions between Israel and Hamas continue, air defense has become a more critical topic than ever before. The development of laser technology is becoming a crucial factor in the race for defense innovation, especially as it could determine the difference between a sturdy, powerful aircraft carrier and a ship sinking to the ocean floor. Could laser weapons truly be the key to neutralizing all maritime threats? With precision targeting and instant response capabilities, could this technology completely transform how the U.S. Navy confronts its adversaries? Like and subscribe to the Navy Power Channel to explore cutting-edge technologies shaping the future of U.S. naval strength. Thank you for watching and supporting us. Your companionship is our motivation to deliver more quality and engaging content. In a surprising turn of events, the Israel-Hamas conflict is now overshadowed by major tech news. The naval strength of any country reflects its political standing. For centuries, Britain was considered the world's strongest naval power, but after World War II, the United States took the top position. One of the key factors that helps the U.S. Navy maintain its superiority is its fleet of nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. The U.S. is currently the only country that operates 11 active aircraft carriers. In this video, the Navy Power Channel will take you through the current status of the U.S. nuclear aircraft carrier fleet and their role in today's hypersonic weapon world. The idea of creating a floating airport belongs to the Americans, which is not surprising. Major battles usually take place far from North American shores, and the U.S. has always sought to control military conflicts. In 1910, for the first time, an aircraft took off from a warship, the U.S. Navy's light cruiser Birmingham, which had a wooden deck measuring 82 by 23 feet. After 5 minutes, the aircraft, equipped with special floats, safely landed in the sea. In 1911, an American officer successfully landed on the artificially extended deck of this cruiser. Then, in 1915, the U.S. developed the necessary catapult system to launch aircraft from warships. Since then, the U.S. has been a pioneer in this field for over a century. Over the past century, the U.S. Navy has owned 18 types of aircraft carriers, starting with the CV-1 Langley, converted from a coal ship, to the massive nuclear-powered CVN-78 Gerald Ford, the newest and most advanced aircraft carrier in the U.S. fleet. The Gerald Ford is called a supercarrier due to its superior technical features and impressive firepower. This is the first ship in the world capable of operating for half a century without requiring nuclear refueling. The ship carries 90 aircraft, helicopters, and UAVs, including the fifth-generation F-35C fighter jets. The Gerald Ford uses 3 modern electromagnetic launch systems, enabling smooth acceleration of aircraft with 25% higher performance compared to older steam catapults. The ship is 1,106 feet long, 256 feet wide, 249 feet tall, 6 feet taller than the St. John the Evangelist Church in New York, and weighs nearly 100,000 tons. With 2 Bechtel A1B nuclear reactors, each producing 700 megawatts, the Gerald Ford has a total power output of nearly 2 million horsepower, enough to reach speeds of 30 nautical miles per hour, 34 miles per hour. A lesser-known feature is its ability to operate high-energy weapon systems such as lasers and electromagnetic guns. These technologies not only enhance its offensive capabilities, but also help the ship counter unconventional threats, such as suicide UAVs or hypersonic missiles. Furthermore, the Gerald Ford is designed to integrate AI systems to optimize the ship's operations, from energy management to real-time tactical command. This breakthrough enables the ship to serve not just as an attack platform, but also as a modern warfare command center. Additionally, the ship is equipped with systems to collect and analyze data from airstrikes, allowing immediate tactical adjustments without waiting for reports from ground bases. These advanced features make the Gerald Ford not only a war machine, but also a technological symbol, ushering in a new era for naval forces around the world. However, aircraft carriers cannot operate on their own. They lack strong defensive weapons and are not suited for independent action. Therefore, they typically operate in a carrier strike group, CSG, consisting of 1 aircraft carrier, 1 to 4 guided missile cruisers, 2 to 3 destroyers or frigates, and 1 or 2 nuclear-powered submarines. The total number of ships in a carrier strike group can range from 6 to 10, depending on the mission. The speed and power of the aircraft carrier groups allow them to move quickly and unexpectedly, striking maritime targets at a range of 575 miles and land targets at nearly 1,000 miles. These strike groups can operate continuously for 14 days without resupply, with a total of 9,000 personnel, including 6,000 aboard the aircraft carrier. These aircraft carriers can reach the necessary areas within 1 day, creating a surprise element in military operations. However, the cost of maintaining an aircraft carrier group is extremely high. It's estimated that maintaining a strike group, including 1 aircraft carrier, 5 cruisers and destroyers, 1 nuclear-powered submarine, and approximately 80 aircraft, costs the Pentagon about $6.5 million per day. With 10 aircraft carrier groups, the total cost can reach at least $65 million per day. This is a huge expense, equivalent to the cost of building a large hospital in the US, like NYU Langone, in just 9 days of operations of 10 aircraft carrier strike groups. Despite the high costs, maintaining the aircraft carrier fleet is essential for ensuring national security and maintaining America's global reputation. Many agree that this cost is justified to protect the nation's interests and security. Do you agree with this viewpoint? If so, comment yes below the video to let us know. Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers are not only a main weapon in the US fleet, but also a symbol of strategic power. However, can an aircraft carrier truly accomplish all of its missions in a military conflict? To answer this question, we need to look back at a special test conducted in 2005, when the US military performed an exercise to assess the survivability of the USS America CV-66 aircraft carrier. This ship, which was first commissioned in 1964, endured a series of attacks from bombs, torpedoes, and cruise missiles. But surprisingly, all of the attacks were unsuccessful. It wasn't until the 4th week that the massive ship finally sank due to the overwhelming damage from continuous attacks. The data collected from this test played a crucial role in the development of newer aircraft carriers, enhancing their survivability in modern warfare environments. The lead designer of the USS America, Talbot Manvale, stated that a carrier could only be destroyed immediately by a nuclear attack. However, as he mentioned, a nuclear attack would mean World War III, where no one would be a winner. Can we imagine a global war involving nuclear weapons? That is a scenario that world leaders like Biden, Putin, and Xi Jinping are fully aware of. Therefore, a military conflict could still occur without pressing the red button. The next question is, could a U.S. aircraft carrier be sunk by conventional weapons? This is a controversial question, especially when we look back at history. In 1941, just days before the Pearl Harbor disaster, many U.S. articles praised the strength of the battleship Arizona. No one could have imagined that a warship would be sunk by aircraft. However, during the Japanese air attack, the Arizona was hit by 4 bombs and sank immediately. To this day, this battleship still rests on the ocean floor as a memorial. Although the Arizona cannot be compared to today's nuclear-powered aircraft carriers like the Gerald Ford, the question remains, are today's U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, even with their advanced defense systems, truly immune to modern weaponry? To counter threats from the air and sea, U.S. aircraft carriers employ an extremely complex, multi-layered defense system. Each U.S. aircraft carrier group is protected by 3 main defense layers: long-range, mid-range, and close-range defense. Each defense layer has a distinct role, from detecting threats from afar to dealing with immediate attacks. The long-range defense layer includes radar for distant detection, reconnaissance aircraft, and warships equipped with long-range air defense systems. This layer uses advanced radar systems such as the AN/SPY-6 and AN/TPY-2, reconnaissance aircraft like the E-2D Hawkeye, and long-range air defense missiles like the SM-6 to detect and destroy anti-ship missiles or attacking aircraft before they can approach the carrier. This layer aims to intercept anti-ship missiles and attacking aircraft before they reach the central defense zone, reducing the pressure on the inner defense layers. The mid-range defense layer focuses on neutralizing cruise missiles and attacking aircraft targeting the aircraft carrier. Finally, the close-range defense layer protects the aircraft carrier from direct attacks using self-defense weapon systems such as anti-aircraft missiles and electronic warfare equipment. Close-in air defense systems like the Phalanx CIWs, short-range RAM missiles, and electronic countermeasures (ECM) will destroy any targets that penetrate the area near the carrier. These 3 defense layers work together to form a comprehensive protection system, enhancing the carrier's defensive capabilities and ensuring its safety in any situation. In an emergency, the aircraft carrier will be directly protected by at least 1 USS cruiser to minimize the impact of air attacks. The Aegis system, with its advanced combat management capability, is key to this defense strategy. This system allows warships within the carrier group to coordinate and eliminate almost any air threat, including ballistic missiles. Aegis can track and handle 250 to 300 targets simultaneously, launching up to 18 anti-aircraft missiles at the most dangerous targets. One major threat to nuclear-powered aircraft carriers comes from enemy submarines. To counter this threat, the aircraft carrier and its protection group use a range of tools and systems to detect and destroy submarines. Anti-submarine aircraft, like the S-3A Viking, operate within a range of up to 185 kilometers from the aircraft carrier, conducting rotating flights from the center of the carrier group and back toward areas where enemies may appear. The interval between each approach of an aircraft to the center of the group typically ranges from 1 to 2 hours. Each aircraft searches for targets within its own designated area. The S-3A Viking aircraft are equipped with weapons such as depth bombs, torpedoes, mines, and up to 2 Harpoon anti-ship missiles. The submarine detection system primarily uses radio sonar buoys, which the aircraft deploys, dropping 6 to 8 buoys every hour. The Jezebel system utilizes directional sonar buoys SSQ-41B, capable of detecting submarines up to a range of 12 miles. The Julie system uses explosive sound sources. When a submarine enters the area affected by the noise from the explosion, the reflected signals from the submarine are transmitted to the buoys and then to the aircraft. This system can detect low-noise submarines at a range of up to 5 miles. Additionally, there are non-acoustic submarine detection devices, such as the ASQ-81 magnetic anomaly detector, which works based on detecting changes in the magnetic field caused by the metal mass of a submarine. The detection range of this device is between 700 and 1,000 meters. The infrared system AN/AAS-36 can detect submarines by the thermal radiation from the hull and along the keel of the vessel, with a range of up to 12 miles. Radars like the AN/APS-15B can detect submarines beneath the surface or antennae at a range of up to 10 miles, while the ALQ-78 radio reconnaissance system can detect submarines emitting radio signals from a distance of 370 miles. Close-in protection ships, including helicopters and surface vessels, have the primary mission of intercepting torpedo attacks from enemy submarines. The detection range of close-in protection ships extends up to 45 miles from the center of the carrier group. This makes it very difficult to approach the aircraft carrier, and if one does manage to get close, it will face much stronger weapons than the Japanese piston-powered aircraft like the Nakajima Ki-43 Hayabusa and Nakajima Ki-27 from wartime. However, the greatest threat comes from anti-ship missiles, particularly the Dongfeng 21D, the world's first anti-ship ballistic missile. This missile has the ability to strike mobile aircraft carrier groups from a very long distance, up to 1,100 nautical miles. The long range of the Dongfeng 21D, combined with its maneuverable warhead, creates a serious threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. One of the factors that make the DF-21D so dangerous is its warhead's maneuverability, which allows it to change its trajectory in flight to avoid interception systems. This makes intercepting the missile very difficult, even with the most advanced defense systems available today. The DF-21D can be combined with reconnaissance platforms such as drones, UAVs, or submarines to gather information on the positions and movements of enemy aircraft carriers. Additionally, the DF-21D can integrate with China's modern surveillance and radar systems, creating a multi-dimensional surveillance and attack network. According to estimates by U.S. Navy Colonel Henry J. Hendricks, China could produce 1,227 DF-21D missiles at the cost of an American aircraft carrier, raising the question of whether this number of missiles would be enough to pose a significant threat to U.S. carrier. A barrage of massive missiles, flying at speeds from Mach 2 to Mach 5, could bypass the defense systems of any aircraft carrier. A single missile would certainly not be able to sink an aircraft carrier, but an attack with a series of missiles could overwhelm the defense systems and reduce the carrier's survivability. Modern U.S. aircraft carriers, like the Gerald Ford, are equipped with F/A-18E's Super Hornet and F-35 strike fighter jets with combat radii of up to 450 nautical miles, about 8 and 730 nautical miles, about 1,350 kilometers, respectively. Meanwhile, the DF-21D missile can strike an aircraft carrier from a distance of up to 1,100 miles, 1,770 kilometers, and some hypotheses suggest its range could exceed this figure. Robert Rubel, former head of the U.S. Naval Academy, pointed out that a successful defense system on an aircraft carrier is meaningless if the ship cannot retaliate against threats from enemy naval forces. A deeper analysis from military experts like Robert Haddock further highlights a bigger danger: the rise of Navy fighter squadrons capable of launching dozens of high-speed, long-range anti-ship cruise missiles that can easily penetrate the defense systems of aircraft carriers, turning them into easy targets. Let's look at China as an example, where there are about 100 missile boats, primarily of the Hubei class. Each boat carries 8 cruise missiles, with a range of up to 160 nautical miles. When thinking of Russia, the first things that come to mind are the Granite anti-ship cruise missile and the Zircon hypersonic missile. The Granite missile, also known by its NATO code SSN-19 Shipwreck, is a long-range supersonic cruise missile developed by the Soviet Union, designed to destroy large maritime targets, including aircraft carriers.
Anti-ship cruise missile.
Introduced in
Speed and altitude is
1983,
Mach 2.5.
the Granite missile can fly at Mach 2.5 near the surface, with a range of up to 400 nautical miles and a warhead weighing 1,600 pounds. However, the Granite's range is not enough to force U.S. aircraft carriers to retreat beyond their operational range, as U.S. carrier strike groups can detect enemy submarines at a distance no greater than 200 kilometers. This means that while Russian submarines can launch an attack, they cannot avoid counterattacks from the carrier strike group. With a range of up to 1,000 kilometers, Mach 9 speed, and a warhead weighing between 650 to 900 pounds, the Zircon missile can easily penetrate the defense systems of U.S. aircraft carriers. However, if the carrier receives 3 to 5 hits, it would have only limited combat capability and would require repairs at a base. In the case of 20 to 24 hits, the aircraft carrier would no longer be able to fight and would be reduced to scrap metal. So, how would a U.S. aircraft carrier cope with torpedo attacks? Russia possesses a special type of torpedo, the Shkval, which travels at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, but has a range of only about 8 miles. However, submarines can approach this range without being detected. To counter this threat, U.S. aircraft carriers are equipped with special protection, including a 20-foot thick torpedo defense shell that can withstand the impact of standard 21-inch torpedoes with a 660-pound warhead. Additionally, U.S. aircraft carriers have systems to protect against bottom attacks, including watertight bulkheads and shock-resistant layers, ensuring that the ship will not sink even when sustaining significant damage. However, to sink a powerful aircraft carrier, at least 10 21-inch torpedoes would be needed. Both China and Russia have the theoretical capability to destroy U.S. aircraft carriers, but are they truly ready to execute this? The new weapons and the combat readiness of aircraft carrier strike groups will face significant challenges in the future. What do you think about the defensive capabilities of aircraft carriers against threats from adversaries? Comment below the Navy Power Channel video to share your thoughts. So, why does the U.S. invest such huge amounts of money in building and operating aircraft carriers? There are a few main reasons. First, aircraft carriers remain a powerful symbol of military strength. Although they can be destroyed, doing so requires the opponent to build and maintain extremely sophisticated weapon systems. For example, China has the capability to launch about 600 missiles at a U.S. carrier strike group, which is equivalent to 75% of China's total missile inventory. However, this creates a paradox for the Chinese military, spending almost their entire missile stockpile just to neutralize a U.S. aircraft carrier for a few weeks, with no guarantee that the ship will be completely sunk. So, what would they do next? They would have no more missiles to use in subsequent battles. This is why aircraft carriers remain a powerful weapon, drawing a significant portion of the opponent's forces to deal with them. On the other hand, we can see that the U.S. doesn't necessarily need to maintain 10 carrier strike groups because they consume a large portion of the budget and production resources. Many U.S. experts believe that the biggest weakness of the U.S. Navy today is spending too much on maintaining old aircraft carriers rather than investing in the development of new weapons. This is a deadlock. It is no coincidence that recently in the U.S. there have been calls to reduce the number of aircraft carriers. The most frequently mentioned number is 4, meaning that 4 carrier strike groups would be put into storage. In summary, even though hypersonic weapons have been developed, aircraft carriers continue to be a formidable force, forcing the opponent to spend significant resources to counter them. However, for the U.S., now is not the right time to maintain 11 aircraft carriers. This number should be reduced to free up the budget for the development of more advanced weapons, such as hypersonic missiles, an area where the U.S. is still lagging behind Russia and China. So, what do you think about the future of aircraft carriers? Will they continue to be a powerful symbol of military strength, or will they gradually lose their importance in U.S. military strategy? China is currently drawing global attention with its increasing naval power, showcasing ambitions not just for maritime dominance, but also expanding into space. They possess a modern fleet equipped with advanced aircraft carriers and an enormous arsenal of missiles. To maintain its edge, the U.S. Navy has continuously invested in advanced technologies that they have pursued for decades, notably laser weaponry. China is currently developing hypersonic missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads, with speeds far surpassing conventional ballistic missiles and making them difficult to detect by radar. In response, the U.S. Navy places its trust in high-powered laser systems to protect its warships against threats like drones and hypersonic missiles. But will these technologies be deployed in time to counter the increasingly significant challenges from China? According to the U.S. Navy, they can neutralize threats in just 30 seconds using advanced laser weapons. So, what makes lasers so special? Let's explore this technology through the Navy Power Channel. Currently, China has established a dense network of military bases in the South China Sea, particularly in the Spratly and Paracel Islands. In the Spratlys, they have constructed large airstrips on islands like Subi, Mischief, and Fiery Cross, while deploying missile systems, radar, and helicopter infrastructure on many smaller islets. In the Paracels, China has set up a major military base on Woody Island, along with radar systems and helicopters in other areas, indicating a relentless expansion of its military presence there. Bases like Subi, Mischief, and Fiery Cross can accommodate modern military aircraft, such as fighter jets and large patrol planes. Long-range air defense missile systems, such as the HQ-9, with a range of up to 125 miles, are likely to be upgraded soon with Russia's S-400 missiles, turning the South China Sea into a dangerous zone for U.S. warships and aircraft unless they are equipped with stealth capabilities or multi-layered air defense systems. This means that the SAM surface-to-air missile systems, combined with a radar network, can control airspace and effectively block any aircraft from entering the area without strong electronic warfare support. Beyond defensive systems, China is also developing hypersonic anti-ship missiles with speeds exceeding Mach 5. A single strike from these missiles could obliterate a warship in an instant. In light of this, the U.S. considers China its top strategic rival. In its 2022 report, the U.S. Department of Defense affirmed that China poses the greatest threat to America's national security. So how can the U.S. maintain its advantage against China's growing strength? America's answer lies in its strategic trump card, the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford, the largest and most expensive warship ever built. Equipped with cutting-edge technology and a flight deck spanning nearly 5 acres, the Gerald R. Ford can carry up to 4 squadrons of fighters with over 60 combat aircraft, and when necessary, this number can increase to 90. With an air power capability surpassing that of at least 60 nations, and even outmatching Russia's fleet of stealth fighters, the U.S. leverages this ship as a strategic tool to maintain its edge against China's rise. On October 4th, the USS Gerald R. Ford was officially deployed for the first time amidst rising tensions in the Pacific. Will supercarriers like the Gerald R. Ford continue to play a crucial role in future naval conflicts, or are they simply colossal projects costing $17 billion? This beast truly dominates the oceans, making it a formidable force. Standing over 9 stories above sea level and weighing in at 97,000 tons, the USS Gerald R. Ford is heavier than even the largest battleships used in World War II, which weighed around 30,000 tons. Despite its massive size, this carrier can reach speeds of over 34 miles per hour thanks to its 2 advanced A-1B nuclear reactors, generating nearly 300 megawatts of power, 3 times that of current U.S. carriers. Watching the USS Gerald R. Ford glide across the sea is like witnessing a New York skyscraper racing forward in a blink, showcasing America's modern technological might. Accompanying the USS Gerald R. Ford is its carrier strike group, consisting of about 10 cruisers, destroyers, and occasionally submarines. Notably, at least 2 of these vessels are specialized in air defense, typically Arleigh Burke-class destroyers with guided missile launch capabilities. These escort ships serve as the first line of defense against enemy attacks, using powerful radar systems that can detect targets more than 125 miles away. Armed with surface-to-air missiles and CIW's close-in weapon system phalanx guns, featuring a 6-barrel Gatling gun firing up to 4,500 rounds per minute, these ships ensure close-range defense, akin to the cannons on F-16 fighters. Recently, this carrier has utilized intercept missiles, sensor systems, and other defensive measures to neutralize drones, aircraft, and surface threats during combat readiness exercises. These drills are designed to bring the USS Ford closer to achieving full-scale naval warfare capabilities. On April 16, 2021, the USS Ford completed its Combat System Ship Qualification Trials, CSSQT, in the Atlantic Ocean, a critical milestone confirming the ship's self-defense capabilities and ensuring the safety of its crew. This test involved 5 phases, starting in February, with the final phase being Sea Trials, Phase 2C. It was the result of years of preparation, training, and thousands of hours of work by the crew. Tests against advanced drones, rockets, and high-speed remote-controlled targets demonstrated Ford's formidable defensive capabilities, especially amid doubts about the effectiveness of aircraft carriers against China's anti-ship missile threats. Notably, the Ford's defense systems go beyond traditional missiles and guns. With the integration of artificial intelligence, advanced sensors, and laser weaponry, the protection of large warships at sea has taken a significant leap forward. The recent CSSQT showcased the effectiveness of upgraded systems like the Rolling Airframe Missile, the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile, ESSM Block II, and the M15 Phalanx system, armed with tungsten alloy armor-piercing rounds. According to Navy reports, operators in the Combat Command Center successfully neutralized targets using 4 missiles, including 2 ESS. Specifically, the ESSM Block II features a sea-skimming mode, enabling it to intercept low-flying anti-ship missiles, enhancing defenses against new threats from China. Beyond this, the USS Gerald R. Ford is also equipped with F-35C fighters, the carrier-optimized version of the aircraft. Compared to the Air Force version, the F-35C has foldable wings for easier storage on the cramped flight deck, thus boosting rapid deployment and enhancing the air power of the carrier strike group. This capability allows the U.S. to maintain a significant advantage in large-scale maritime conflicts. The F-35C variant is specially designed for carrier operations, featuring reinforced airframes and improved landing systems to absorb the impact of tailhook landings and catapult takeoffs. Notably, its wingspan is 8.9 feet wider than other variants, providing better control at lower speeds while increasing payload capacity and range. Despite extensive technical modifications, the F-35C maintains performance levels on par with its other variants, ready to execute nearly all combat missions. Additionally, the advanced communication systems on the F-35C enable it to coordinate more effectively with other ships in the strike group. These strike groups not only include aircraft carriers, but also cruisers, destroyers, submarines, and support vessels. The modern communication systems allow the F-35C to share sensor data in real time with commanders, enabling rapid and precise tactical decisions. This level of coordination can make a significant difference on the modern battlefield. The first deployment of the F-35C on a carrier deck marks a turning point in the U.S. Navy's stealth capabilities. These aircraft provide superior survivability in land attack missions while maintaining secrecy, allowing them to quickly return to the safety of the strike group. In the past, pilots had to rely on their skills and agility to complete missions, but with the F-35C, they can carry out operations much more safely. This could be a game-changer in naval aviation tactics. Although the F-35C has been around for several years, its first deployment with a carrier strike group occurred in 2021, during naval exercises conducted by the USS Carl Vinson. However, data on the effectiveness of this aircraft in real combat scenarios remains limited. Another critical element in the carrier's defense system is the close-in weapon system, CIWS. The CIWs can fire thousands of small metal rounds per minute using a rapid-firing 20mm, 6-barrel Gatling gun, creating a wall of bullets to destroy targets like drones, cruise missiles, and enemy helicopters. Upon detecting a threat, the system instantly calculates the target's trajectory, automatically adjusts its aim, and fires a burst of high-speed rounds to neutralize the target before it can inflict damage. What makes the CIWS unique is its lightning-fast response time and near-complete automation. When a target is detected approaching, the system automatically activates without human intervention, protecting the ship in critical situations where response time is measured in seconds. Additionally, the latest version of CIWS is enhanced with infrared sensors, improving its accuracy in adverse weather conditions or when the enemy employs radar jamming techniques. Thanks to its combination of high firing speed and advanced control systems, the CIWs can neutralize targets even if they are moving at high speeds or flying at low altitudes. However, the CIWS is still considered the last line of defense, only activating when other defense systems fail to eliminate the target from a distance. Therefore, while the CIWS provides reassurance for the crew, concerns remain that over-reliance on this system may not be enough in the face of increasingly sophisticated and unpredictable hypersonic weapons and attack drones. Alongside the CIWS, the USS Gerald R. Ford is equipped with a suite of modern automated defense systems, including dual-band radar (DBR), cooperative engagement capability (CEC), Sea Sparrow missiles (ESSM), and rolling airframe missiles (RAM). The DBR radar system assists in detecting, tracking, and illuminating targets, supporting missile guidance for the ESSM, while the CEC analyzes data and issues missile launch orders swiftly and accurately. Although carriers are protected by escort ships such as destroyers and cruisers, modern carriers like the USS Ford need robust self-defense capabilities to counter sea-based threats. However, once the ship's defense systems exhaust their interceptor ammunition, they can quickly become vulnerable, especially to swarm attacks from adversaries. While some types of munitions can be replenished at sea, many others require resupply at port, posing a significant challenge to maintaining long-term ammunition levels. This raises a critical question. Could opponents exploit this weakness by launching continuous, relentless attacks? What are your thoughts on this swarm attack strategy? Do you think emerging technologies like laser weapons are powerful enough to turn the tide and help the US Navy maintain its dominance? Share your opinions in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. To counter the threat of swarm drone attacks, the Pentagon is heavily investing in advanced technologies, such as using high-charged particles to neutralize them from a distance. This is part of a modern defense strategy aimed at enhancing protection against increasingly complex threats. Lasers operate by stimulating atoms or molecules with an electric current, causing them to emit light. This light is then trapped between two mirrors, continuously reflecting and forming a narrow beam that moves at the speed of light. Unlike the explosive beams seen in Star Wars movies, real lasers generate extreme heat, which can disrupt the optical sensors of drones or burn through them when intensified. The unique advantage of lasers is their ability to convert energy into ammunition without needing to reload. Thanks to the nuclear reactors on warships, laser weapon systems can fire thousands of shots without the concern of running out of ammunition. This allows the US Navy to track and destroy hypersonic weapons like China's DFZF without the need to precisely predict their location, as would be required with traditional missiles. This marks a significant leap forward in defense technology, providing a strategic advantage for the US in future conflicts. One of the biggest advantages of laser weapons is their extremely low cost. According to the US Congressional Research Service, Each laser shot costs between $1 to $10 compared to the millions of dollars required for a single air defense missile. This addresses the negative cost ratio of using expensive missiles to shoot down cheap enemy drones or missiles. Deploying low-cost laser systems can help the U.S. Navy achieve cost balance in conflicts. Despite the great potential of laser weapons, they still face several challenges. In 2024, the U.S. Navy conducted sea trials with its first laser system installed on a ship. The 33 kilowatts laser weapon system, LAWS, was mounted on the amphibious transport dock USS Ponce. Resembling a telescope used by amateur astronomers, this system demonstrated impressive capabilities. In one test, gunners used LAWS sensors to target a Zodiac inflatable boat equipped with mock-up guns. When the invisible laser beam fired, the weapons on the boat exploded instantly, without causing any damage to the boat's hull or the mock pilot. In another test, the laser quickly neutralized a drone launched from a nearby deck. The intense heat beam from the laser cut through the drone's body like a welding torch. Within seconds, the drone caught fire and crashed into the sea. By 2019, the Navy began testing a more powerful type of laser, and in August 2022, the first 60-kilowatt laser system was installed on the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, USS Preble. This system is known as Helios, high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance system, developed by Lockheed Martin. While Helios is a significant step forward, it is currently only effective against drones and small boats. To counter cruise missiles and hypersonic weapons traveling at speeds above Mach 5, the U.S. needs a more powerful laser system with a minimum output of 300 kilowatt. These missiles are constructed from high-temperature resistant materials like pyroceram ceramics and pyrolytic graphite, capable of withstanding temperatures up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit at supersonic speeds. Can the Navy develop a laser powerful enough to penetrate these materials? However, the biggest challenge remains countering atmospheric interference, which can affect laser beam performance. Ensuring that the system can adjust flexibly and accurately target fast-moving threats requires overcoming significant technological hurdles. If these technical barriers are overcome, laser weapons could become a key component of the U.S. Navy's defense strategy, especially in real combat scenarios. The U.S. Navy is preparing to test the Hellcap laser system with a power output of 300 kilowatts in the coming year, a significant advancement. This weapon, named Hellcap, High Energy Laser Counter Anti-Ship Cruise Missile Program, will be developed based on the AN/SEQ-4 optical dazzler system currently installed on some destroyers. If successful, this could be the first laser system capable of intercepting low-altitude missile threats. However, despite high expectations for Hellcap, this system may still lack the power to counter modern hypersonic missiles, which can reach speeds of Mach 10 and withstand temperatures above 700 degrees Fahrenheit. To address these complex threats, the Pentagon may need to develop laser systems with outputs reaching up to 1 megawatt, 3 times the current Hellcap capacity. The good news is that megawatt-class lasers may not be too far off. Northrop Grumman has secured a contract with the U.S. Navy to develop an integrated laser system, where multiple beams will be combined into a single, extremely powerful beam. By July 2022, the initial design was completed with a starting power of 300 kilowatts, with the potential to upgrade to 1 megawatt in the future. Will these systems be capable of protecting aircraft carriers from China's hypersonic missile threats? Given that the U.S. has invested billions of dollars in its aircraft carriers, developing advanced defensive technologies to protect them remains a top priority. As China rapidly advances its anti-ship weapon capabilities, warships like the USS Gerald R. Ford are facing greater risks than ever before. A single, well-aimed strike from a hypersonic missile could decide the fate of the world's most powerful navy. Is this a wake-up call for the U.S. Navy? To avoid repeating history, like the battleships of World War II, the U.S. Navy is betting on laser technology, hoping to transform it from science fiction into a reliable defense system. Experts are optimistic that in the future, laser beams will be able to incinerate missiles in mid-air at a cost equivalent to a cup of coffee, an extremely cost-effective solution with high combat efficiency. What do you think? Can laser technology truly change the future of naval warfare? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching Navy Power. If you found this interesting, don't forget to click the link to explore more exciting content.